Amazing. Let me go to out of Pennsylvania. Let me go to GAYLE, a first-time caller. GAYLE, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, GAYLE.
This is not my first time calling. This is about my third time or fourth time call.
Well, thank you.
Well, Jesse, you know, I'm one of your part-time followers. Okay? Now, you say that you always ask a woman if she's going to obey her husband, right?
Yes. When a man take her on a date, let's say you meet this woman, you go on a date with her, and you want to learn a little bit more about her, and you ask her, will you obey me? And if she says no, just get up and walk away. Leave the table and let her take Uber home.
Okay. Now.
You agree with that?
No. And the reason why I don't approve of that, Jesse, is because that is a threatening question.
How is that threatening?
It's threatening, Jesse, because of the fact that when you are in a relationship with a man, when you care about that person, you're going to do everything in your power and in your knowledge to make that man happy. So, loving is a part of obeying because you want to be in a happy marriage in order to have a happy life, right?
But a woman that's trying to make a man happy or a man that's trying to make a woman happy hate one another. They don't love one another. That's not love. You're not supposed to try to make anyone happy. The more you try to make them happy, the worse they get. Am I supposed to take a break now or what? Can you hold for me, GAYLE?
Sure.
All right, don't hang up. Let me go quickly back to GAYLE out of Pennsylvania. GAYLE, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
The other thing is that...
Let me hold that thought, but let me ask, do you agree with me that the husband should not try to make the wife happy and the wife should not try to make the husband happy?
No.
And why not? Why don't you agree with that?
I don't agree with that because I have to take you to the Bible. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And I want to ask you, what does love mean to you?
Not hating.
But you say we all hate.
Y'all do, and that's the problem. And so what did that scripture have to do with a husband should never, ever, ever try to make his wife happy, nor should the wife try to make the husband happy? Well, that scripture said nothing about that.
But you say...
why did you read that scripture?
Obey. Go ahead.
Why did you read that scripture?
Because love, God, that's why God sent Jesus into the world in order to save the world, to make a difference, and to extend grace and mercy to us until we can get it right.
And what does that have to do with you trying to make your husband happy or your husband trying to make you happy? God didn't God just sent his son here to make us happy. He wasn't trying to make us happy at all.
Yeah, but that's what the word states.
What does the word say?
God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son.
But it doesn't say he also loved the world. He tried to make you happy.
No, well, that's true, but
you ain't never been
love
able to...
is happiness.
What?
Love is happiness.
No, that's a song. Love and happiness make you want to do
I
right.
mean it that way. I wasn't thinking about no Al Green.
But that's
I know you have. I know you have to go, but you asked about the question about what did religion do for me?
yeah. What?
Well,
Let me ask. What good have you gotten out of religion?
I haven't gotten anything good out of religion, but I've gotten a lot out of the Spirit of God helping me out of situations and protecting me. That's what I got. That's why the word says, God will say, depart from me because I knew you not. Because you have to have a relationship with the Lord in order for you to be able to know him. You got to have that relationship with him.
Do you know God?
Yeah, I know the Lord.
Do you have
Because
do you have perfect peace?
most of the time,
Do you have perfect peace?
yeah.
You said most of the time. Most of the time ain't all the time.
Okay, well, yeah, I have it all the time.
And do you try to make people happy?
Yeah.
If you have perfect peace, you would never try to make anyone happy.
Well, that's because of the fact that some people you can't make happy, but you do what you can do, and then you leave it.
You can't make anyone happy. You have never made anyone happy, and you can't make anyone happy. And if you try to make anyone happy, it's only because you think you're God.
No, Jesse, I know I'm not God.
Then why are you trying to make someone happy?
Because of the fact that we all understand happiness is, well, I can't say all. Some of us believe that love is happiness.
That's a song. It ain't real. Love and happiness made you want to do right. That ain't love and that ain't happiness. That's hatred.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that tries to make you happy hates you. And anyone you try to make happy, you hate them. You do not.
Okay, now
That makes sense?
what about the fact is that you know somebody that you're close to like a certain thing,
Right.
and you go and you get that certain thing and you bring it to that person, that makes them happy.
Let's say people know I love sweet potatoes, right? They know I hate pumpkin pie and I love sweet potato pie, right?
Okay.
And so they make a sweet potato pie and they bring it to me. They're bringing that to make me happy, right?
Yeah.
But I won't be happy, but I will appreciate it. Now, in my father's state, I would have been happy because my ego was weak. But now I would definitely appreciate it. Joel's wife made a what do you call that? What's the thing your wife made, Joel? Meatloaf. And Joel brought some for lunch. And he's like, Jesse, you want some meatloaf? And I said, yeah. And I ate some. That meatloaf was so good that when I saw her, I wanted to slap her. But I couldn't. So I really appreciated the meatloaf and mashed potato. But it was good, but it didn't bring me happiness because I wasn't unhappy.
I understand what you're saying, Jesse.
Yes.
But
ain't no but. If you understand, there is no but. Understanding don't have a but to it.
Well, appreciation is a part of happiness.
No.
For a moment.
Amazing. But so, have you ever tried to make are you married?
No.
Have you ever been married?
No.
Oh, okay. So have you ever tried to make your boyfriend happy?
At my age now, Jesse?
No, when you were dating.
No. When I was younger, yes.
And then your
I
boyfriend,
spent most of my life trying to make a man happy.
were you able to make him happy?
For a season.
I rest my case. And did your boyfriend ever try to make you happy?
Not that I remember.
And was he so you don't remember one of your boyfriends trying to make you happy?
No, it was always one-sided.
You must be very difficult.
Difficult?
Yeah, I bet.
Not at all, Jesse.
I bet you were a mess. Gayle, thanks for your call.
All right, sweetie.
Call me again.
All right, later.
Okay. I want to show you how a man's supposed to deal with anybody, but especially a woman. 888-77-JESSE. Here's a perfect example. It's so perfect, I couldn't believe what's happening. I'm like, what the? I've never seen this with someone being the head of something. You know, most men, all men, are afraid to be alpha male when they're in a certain position. Most are afraid even when they're not in position. But if they hold an office or something, they are afraid to be alpha male when it comes to dealing with women. Well, here's an example of a man dealing with a woman, telling her how the cow ate the cabbage. And he had no fear. He wasn't emotional about it and no fear. CNN, President Donald Trump, on Friday, threatened to strip Maine of its federal funding if it refuses to comply with his executive order banning transgender women from competing in men's sport. Watch this from X.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with the state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Ooh, what have you ever heard a man, a president, speak to the female with pure truth and perfect love in public with a big audience like that and the world watching? Obama would have never done that. Biden would have never done that. That little male that Trump had for vice president when he first ran. What that guy name? When he first was president. What? Pence. Ain't no way Mike Pence would have spoken up like that. Perfect. Yes, Nick. Oh, I thought you were about to say so. Perfect. He dealt with her with perfect love. No arguing. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Here is what the female looked like. The governor. Here's a look at the governor after the exchange. Watch this from X.
You can see her all frumpy faced.
Look at her. She is tight. And look at the audience. They ain't never heard no man tell them. Men. Donald Trump is from the old school. That's her with that thing around her neck, huh?
Correct.
Oh, that's a turtleneck. She look a mess.
That's what it looks like.
She okay. See you in court. Your last time being in office too, by the way. And isn't that amazing? So be honest. Have you ever heard a man speak up like that? And he's had an office, president, governor, mayor, city council, anything. Men are afraid of women. They ain't gonna tell the truth with perfect love. They ain't gonna do it. They're afraid of the woman. The woman is their God. And that's why they can't know God. They have made the woman their God. They made mama their God first. And so days later, speaking of this stupid governor, days later, a boy won a girl pole vault championship in Maine. Watch this from the Daily Wire. A transgender identified boy took first place in a woman pole vaulting at Maine Class B State Championship on Monday. Watch this from Facebook. Oh, this is the image.
Yeah, a Maine lawmaker
Watch this from Facebook.
Yeah, a Maine lawmaker drew attention to the controversy with this Facebook post. This is Representative Laurel Libby's post, and it reads, 2 years ago, John tied for 5th place in boys pole vault. Tonight, Katie won first place in the girls' Maine State Class B Championship. On the left here circled is John. And this on the right is the same John now named Katie.
Whoa! How long did it take for him to go from John to Katie?
2 years, according to this post.
And so he was number 4 and winning
5th place.
5th place
2
with
years
the boys.
Ago. Correct.
And number 1 place with the girls.
Katie. Correct. Yeah, first place with the girls.
Wow, he looked taller too with the girls.
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't he look taller?
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
he looked short with the guys.
That's correct. That's, in fact, in the left one, he's at the same height as the one right next to him. They're standing on the same level podium, but he's definitely taller.
What the? And the Maine lawmaker shared why she made the Facebook post from WMTV8. Watch this.
Libby is joining a national conversation surrounding transgender women and girls who are biological males participating in girls' and women's sports. Libby says she felt called to share this on her public Facebook, which now has more than 42,000 comments and counting.
What was the decision to post the photos of them? Why did you make that decision?
Yeah, that individual is participating in a public event, a public sport. There are photos online. This is not new. And when you choose to participate in something that is as public as this, it's not surprising.
We have decided to blur the face of the students because we have not been able to independently confirm that this is the same athlete or speak to the family, and the people photographed are presumably minors. As of 2019, the Maine Integrated Youth Health Survey found that 1.6% of Maine high school students identified as transgender. Nationally, that number is 3.3%. Of that about 3%, less than half of those students participate in high school sports at 40.7%. Just last week, the Maine Principals Association announced it would not enforce President Donald Trump's executive order banning biological males from participating in girls' and women's sports. This social media post has stirred up a lot of opinions, some people calling Libby a bully, others agreeing with her, saying this should not be allowed. I asked Libby how she would feel if she was the parent in this situation.
I would never allow my son to participate in girls' sports. It is unfair, and Maine people know that.
Right on. I wish you well, lady. In all honesty, I know that men should not play in women's sport and women should not play in men's sport. But until they are as serious about stopping women from playing in men's sport, whether it's judo or karate and boxing and all that, then I'm okay with men playing in women's sport. Really, I am. Because if they can't, if the women can play in men's sport, saying that, they're equal, why can't the men play in women's sport? What's the difference? There's no difference. The problem is they don't care about destroying men. And they pretend to love women. But they don't love the men, so they destroy everything that's manly. All the men clubs and bars where men can smoke and private clubs where men go and hang out and talk. And they're jealous of that and they destroy it. But they don't want you to mess with the women's stuff. So until you say and pass laws that women cannot play in men's sports, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let me go to Las Vegas and talk to the first-time caller, Roman, a first-time caller. Roman, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well.
Pleasure to meet you. Finally, pleasure to talk to you. I've been listening to you for the last, I'd say, about 8 months and doing the silent prayer and everything. But I have an issue that I wanted to call you and ask you about.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand because you say tell everyone to forgive their mothers, right?
Yes.
But with me specifically, my father raised me and my younger brother since we were 3-4 years old. He took us away because my mother was a mess, and he raised us. And he ended up getting married in the long run, like when we were around 7 or 8. But I don't have any anger toward my mother or towards my father. I love my father a lot. I'm with him right now, taking care of him as he's retired. But I have an issue with substance abuse really bad. Since I was 16, 17, I was out partying in Las Vegas, doing all kinds of drugs and alcohol and doing all that mess, right? I got clean multiple times. I got clean for 5 years recently. I just relapsed about 5 months ago. I relapsed. And even though I still do the silent prayer. Like I do that every morning and every night.
Nice.
And I realize that I am listening to my thoughts, and I'm going into it's like a spell where I feel like I don't know what the problem is, and that's why I'm calling to ask you what can I do to get away from those thoughts, and what is it that I'm missing? Because I'm missing something. I'm sitting here every day trying to stay present, and it's really hard, when I've been using, especially for the last 5 months. So,
how old were you when you were taken away from your mother?
I was 4 years old. My younger brother was 3. My dad sent us on a plane to Spain, and we were in Spain with his family there while he divorced and separated from her. So I met her when I was 25 years old. I met her. I finally found her, and I found out she has two half brothers and a half sister from all different fathers on another side, and she's a mess. When I first met her, the first time we met, the first thing we did was smoke meth, smoke crystal.
Together?
So yes.
With your mother?
Yes, that was the first time we met. Right. Right. It's a mess.
Oh, a mess. And so where did your anger come from then? If not from your mother and your father, did you like your stepmother?
My stepmother, she was okay, but the thing is, I paid attention to my dad because my dad's alpha. Like he ran the house. But this is the thing. Like in the long run, my stepmother ended up committing suicide. My younger brother ended up committing suicide.
Wow.
Like everyone around me has been a mess, right? So now I moved back with my father because he's retired and he's got cancer. So I'm, taking care of him, took over the house and everything for him so that he can, and
how old are you now?
I'm 41 now.
Oh, okay. And so where did your anger come from?
To be honest, I was the type of person to not have anger. Even throughout my whole life, I was the type of person where if people were angry or wanted to fight, I was the opposite. I didn't want to hurt. I feel like I lived more based off of fear than I did off of anger, most likely, throughout my life.
If you have fear, you have anger. You can't have anger you can't have fear unless you have anger. And you can't have anger unless you have fear. But here's what I recommend for you. Since you don't see clearly where your anger came from, make sure you do the silent prayer and watch those thoughts and take the pain of the thought, but do nothing about it. And with the doing, you say you do drugs?
I've been doing them for a long time, but
But I want you to try not to do it. But if you feel like you gotta do it, practice watching yourself do it. Don't go unconscious. Don't get high and feel good and forget that you're getting high, right? Be conscious, and the consciousness will, because the drug is not the problem, the anger is the problem. And it's just that you don't remember how you became angry. But because it could have happened when you were a kid with your mother, you don't realize that. Or something you overreacted to that you don't see clearly. But when you were a
Right.
kid, I guarantee you, your mother had some type of negative impact on you, and it caused
She
you to
did.
become angry.
That's wild. You say that. That's so wild because my whole life, when I was younger, I didn't know her like at all. But she used drugs and alcohol when she was pregnant with me, and so she was a mess. And my dad had to leave her from that. But I don't remember anything about her. That's why when I first met her, when I was 25 years old, like it was a completely, it was like one of those things where I don't blame you. You know, I don't blame her because I know she's a mess. You know, and I
Yes.
can't sit
Yeah.
there and but yeah, just in the long run, I'm trying to figure out because I love your teaching, what you teach. I wish I found you earlier in my life. Like it's amazing what you're teaching, and I agree with it. I can't relate to the forgiving the mother part because in my life, my mothers weren't around like that. It wasn't like
Right.
mothers around. It was my father, right?
Right. And
my
you hold
my
nothing against your father. You don't resent him at all?
You know what's crazy is I went and forgave him like
Oh,
a month ago,
good.
about a month ago. I was listening. I was like, I gotta forgive him. But when I did it, I went to him and I told him, look, I'm sorry for being angry at you. I'm sorry for judging you for because I didn't understand myself my whole life. So I feel like I'm a recreation of my father. And you know what's crazy is that when I forgave him, he got mad at me. And he's like, "Why? What do you have to forgive me for? Like I didn't do nothing wrong with you." And it was that was the moment when he did that. I saw myself like it was like a split, like an image, like a mirror image. I could see myself in him, and I realized that was when I realized I was angry at him.
Yes.
Like I realized then it wasn't before. It was after when I came to him to forgive him is when I got angry, and I was like, wow, like. And now every day since then, we've been getting along great. Like we talk things out, you know, like we don't
Right
get in
on.
arguments. Yeah, but it's been a lot better since I went and forgave him for that.
Right
and that's
on.
just mind blowing to me that what you say is so true. It's so true. It doesn't matter if it's mothers or fathers.
Yeah.
It works. It
So
works.
now then, all you got to do now is stay with the silent prayer, practice staying present rather than being in your imagination. But if you're caught up in thought, just come back to prayer. Realize you're in a thought, but don't judge it. Don't say, "Oh, stupid me, I'm in a thought. I'm this." Don't judge it because there is no you, right? And all you do then is take on another false identity. So don't judge it and try not to do the drug. But if you do, stay present while you're doing it. Don't judge yourself for doing it. Don't say, "Oh, I'm falling back. It's not working," and all that. That's not true. Just realize you're taking the smoke or whatever you're doing, but don't judge it, and it will be taken. The taste will be taken away from you.
That is amazing to me. That you're so spot on because the whole reason why I used in the past was because I judged myself and judged the people around me and judged myself for it.
Yes.
When I use, I tell myself, "You're not supposed." Like the devil is crazy. Like he gets in my head, he'll tell me one thing and tell me the complete opposite after that. And be like, "Pick one."
Absolutely.
It's insane. So you're right about that. So
He'll
okay,
tell
so
you
don't
to
judge.
take it, you need it, and then when you take it, he'll laugh at you, and then he'll tell you something else to do. And
Yeah, and then it's like, you idiot, why'd you take it? You knew you shouldn't have taken that. You're like, that's not good for you. You know that it's not right.
But-
And in my mind, my whole life, I thought that was God. Like God was the good thoughts and the devil was the bad thoughts.
No.
But it wasn't until I started watching you that I saw that all thoughts
yeah.
are from the devil. Like 100%.
Yeah, the devil tell you, that's such a good point. The devil tell you to take the drugs, it's fine, you're all right. And then you take them, and then you're high, and the devil said, what an idiot.
Right.
You know that was wrong to take that, and you done it. And then he'll laugh at you. And then he'll tell you something else to do. All thoughts are all lies all the time, and none of them are from God.
That is so amazing. Like, I wish I learned this when I was younger. I really do. I wish that I'm so grateful to even be on the phone with you right now. Like, it is what you've done for me for almost 30 something years that I've been like this. Within the last 8 months that I've been watching you, what you've done for me in my life, I'm starting to see now what I need to do, and I'm just glad I got to call you, because this is one of the issues that I have is that, and it's not. I don't know if it's anger or what, but I know that I'm listening to my thoughts, and my thoughts are telling me, and I'm becoming one with them. So that's why I'm using. So yeah. So I'm gonna just silent prayer.
Yeah, just stay with the silent prayer. Practice staying present. We get caught up in your head. Just come back to the present. And when the devil tell you, oh, you feel anxiety, do some drugs or not. Try not to do it. But if you do, don't judge yourself for doing it, because it's not you. And it'll fall away. You'll find yourself. You'll be fine. But have no opinion about it, because the drugs are not the problem. It's the not being whole, not being one with the truth. That's the problem, and you'll be fine.
That is the problem. So you're saying for me to get back on the path that I know I need to get, and I'm willing to go through whatever I have to do it. Like, I'm going to go get clean, whatever I need to do too. But my problem is my whole life I've been getting clean and then getting screwed up, and then clean and getting screwed up, and it's been a cycle. It's been a crazy cycle.
Because getting clean is not the answer. Overcoming anger and being lost in your thought is the answer to all things.
Okay. All right. That's why sitting still is like the main key, is sitting still, because then I can. Right. You got a good point. I agree with.
And then just watch those thoughts, but don't call them you. As a matter of fact, you can quietly say, I see those thoughts, but that's not me. I feel the pain, but that's not me. Because the pain is in your body, but it's not in you. It's not you. You're not your body. And the thoughts are in your head, but it's not you. You're not the thoughts, right? And so stop identifying with those things. Don't call yourself an addict. Don't call yourself substance abuse, or put no more titles, so you can be free.
Okay. All right, will do. Thank you so much, Jesse. You're an amazing person. Like, I love your message, and you're helping me out a lot. Thank you so much for it.
You're welcome. But another quick thing: be happy that while you're alive, you found it and coming into the truth. So don't be saying, "Oh, I wish I learned this earlier." Don't. What has happened is over. Just be grateful that you got a chance to find the truth while you live.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, buddy. I wish you well.
Thank you so much, sir. You too. Hey, thank you so much. Bless you guys. I appreciate everything, and I'll give you a call back, let you know how it's going.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy.
Have a beautiful day. Bye.
You too. Bye. Let me go to Jason. Jason, welcome to the show out of Buffalo, New York.
Definitely got plausible deniability.
Jason.
Plausible deniability. I must thank God that he involved, hands on in that shit. I got that shit.
Who is he talking to? Are you talking to me, Jason?
Yeah. Oh, my fault. Hey, I didn't know you had answered. Hey, I want to answer your biblical question.
Who were you talking to right now?
Oh, who was I talking to? That's like I was going over something in my head for like something later.
So you were talking in your head that loud?
Yeah. That's what I do. I come to process, like that's what I was like learning to like process stuff. Like that's what I do.
By speaking in your head like that?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Go ahead.
When I answer your biblical question.
What good have you gotten out of religion?
What good? To understand that the whole thing about religion is stupid, is man-made and false. So it was good that I found that out.
And why is
I gotta ask you a question.
Why is that?
Because like that. It's like that. It's like because it doesn't take like because it's better to be grounded in something that's actual. To have a foundation in something that's actually real and not something that is like that you can't count on and look on. It's better to have like an actual rock than like a mythical rock or whatever. And
so, what are you grounded in?
What am I grounded in?
Yeah.
Myself. I know me. I know me better than anything else. I take the time to like go, self-reflection and stuff like that. Like every few days, I reassess, like find out like what I did wrong, what could I did better. I keep up with myself. I try to like right now I'm like healing for surgery. I had surgery a couple of months ago, so like every day I'm just trying to get better, like work on myself every day.
And so
that's what everybody should do.
And so you're grounded in yourself.
Yeah.
And
I
who
can
are
rely on
you?
myself.
And
Who
who
am
are
I?
you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I am like, who am I? I'm a Cancer with an Aries moon. That means I am sensitive to everything. That means I can pick up on like your negative energies and stuff like that. That's what I have the ability to do. I have the ability to read people.
And
Like I
so
would like
who are you?
that's who I am.
Who?
That's who I am.
You say you're a Cancer?
I'm a Cancer. My astrological sign is Cancer.
And so what is a Cancer?
Cancer is like somebody that is very sheltered, don't really like people, don't like, but I like my avenue to like release my flow of energy is like the gather of knowledge. I like to like some people like entertainment, like able to write stories and stuff like that. I like to gain knowledge. I like to learn things.
And
Can I ask you a question?
And so that's who you are?
Yeah, that's who I am. I have a person that has a deep thirst for knowledge. That's who I am.
And
That's what kind of category.
And that's why you speak in your head?
I mean, I just do that. I've been doing that's how I've been that's how I process information.
By talking to yourself in your head?
Yeah, you ever had to have to make a decision on two things, like either you gonna sign this contract or that contract, or you gonna take this job or take that job.
So who is talking in your head to you?
I'm talking to me. It's based on my knowledge and experience.
So you're talking in your head, and you're talking to who?
To me. That's who I'm talking to.
And so
it's like, all right, let me try to explain to you later.
Are you saying that there are two yous?
No, it's the same person.
So
but
how are you talking to you in your head?
I'm gonna explain it to you. See, like you think all thoughts are lies, but like sometimes you have to think to come to a conclusion. There's a process to come to an answer. Like what I told you about making a decision, like saying like if you want to move to this state or move to that state. You want to play the pros and the cons, the good and the bad. You want to try to play out
Jason,
every outcome.
Because of time, how are you talking to you?
I just told you. It's like I'm figuring something out.
and so you're in your head talking to who?
To me. I'm trying to figure out a problem.
And Jason, where is the person that you're talking to?
It's me. I'm right here. It's the same person. It's just like how I'm calculating a problem.
So
you ain't never had to like.
Jason,
Go ahead.
That person you are talking to, is that person in your head too?
The person is not in my head. The person is me.
So you're in your head. You are in your head talking to someone else.
Okay, all right. Let me try to explain it to you one more time. You ever did a division problem?
No. Let me ask you this. So you're talking to you in your head, talking to another you somewhere else, right?
No, at no point did I say I'm talking to another me.
And where is the other person that you're talking to then?
There is no other person. It's me. The person that I'm talking to is me.
And where are you?
I'm right here, dude. I'm right here on the phone with you.
But when you're talking to you, trying to figure out a math problem, who are you? Where's that person located?
It's the same. It's the same person. I do not leave my body in space. I do not leave my body. I don't leave my body, space, or time to build a conversation on something that I'm already thinking about. Have you ever written a story? Hold on.
Thank you. I got to run, Jason. Thank you, though, because of time. Thank you. So last week, we didn't deal with the biblical question at the fellowship, and I said I was going to deal with it on Monday, and it went past, and I did not. But I want to at least mention last week's biblical question for a minute, and then move on. Last week, biblical question, how do you trust God? How do you trust God? And I want to say that first is that it's hard to find a person, though there are men and women working on themselves now. It's hard to find a person that trusts God. They say it, and in their mind they believe it, but it has nothing to do with trusting God. And because if you trust God, you'll be free. You would have been free from slavery, imprisonment of your mind and emotions. You would be free already. And the proof in the freedom would be you have no fear, no doubts. And I'm not talking about physical fear. You know, you have to protect yourself from the criminals out there. You have to look both ways before you walk across the street. You must watch your back now because the criminals have been given permission by the government to hurt you. So you have to watch yourself with that. But I'm talking about psychological fear. You will have none of that. You will have no fear in your inwardly. You will have no worry. You will have no doubts. You will have no insecurities. You will have no desperation. You will not be into suicidal thoughts. You will not be lonely. You will not look for love. You will not think about tomorrow or yesterday. You will not be angry. You will not hate anyone. You will have no anger, which is hatred, which is evil, toward anyone, no matter what the situation is outside of you. If you trust God, you will have none of those things. You will not think that you are a transgender or lesbian or homosexual or this or that or anything. You will have no identity. You will be totally free. You will only live in now, in the present, where everything is done. The kingdom of heaven is finished. You will already be living in paradise right here on earth if you trust God. You will have perfect peace. And I'm not just making that up. If you trust God, just think about it. Everything's been done. It's been finished. You are free. You're neither sinner nor saint. You're neither guilty nor innocent. You're neither right nor wrong. You're neither free nor slave. You're not none of those things, but you live all of those things because you don't trust God. Saying that you trust God doesn't mean that you trust God. Most people say it, especially the religious people, whatever religion you may be in. But you don't trust them. You're just saying it. It sounds good to say it. But immediately, when asked, do you have perfect peace? No one does. You can't. Nobody does. Then you don't believe in God. You don't trust God. It's just a word. You're not free. If you trust God, you would be free. And whatever happens outside of you would not touch you, would not bother you one iota. Number one, you will understand the spiritual battle, and you will understand that all human beings are evil, and they mean you no good. When they go after you, they're not trying to help you. They're trying to hurt you. They're trying to draw you into the hell that they're in, and they will call that life. So those are some proof of trusting God. Trusting God is just not saying it. Also, you would know that there is a kingdom of heaven that inside of us is in us, and there's the right way to live now. You're not waiting in the future, which doesn't exist, to enter into the kingdom of God. You will already be there. Do you know people wait to die before they can, in their mind, they're going to enter into the kingdom of heaven? And they won't, because it's in their mind. And if they die in their mind in the future, they're going to be living in their mind after they drop their physical body. And they will be stuck in illusions in hell, just as they're living that way on earth. it would still be the same. So you can live in paradise right here, or you can believe the world that no one can have perfect peace. Most people are not even looking for it because they believe you can't have it, and then they justify anger. They justify, oh, well, you need anger for this, because anger does. There was a young lady in church on Sunday fellowship. She was like breaking down anger, when you can have it, when to use it, what it's like, and all that. I'm like, you're breaking down evil. But she's not ready to see that yet. That is, hopefully not hopefully, but maybe she'll see it eventually. She's breaking down anger, making it's okay for this situation, but not for that one. Anger is used for this and not that, and blah, blah, blah. What a sad way to live. The answer is no for most people. But have you paid attention lately to what's happening just in this country alone? How evil and the suffering and the fear and the jealousy and the envies and the lies and the strife that human beings are bringing upon one another. Pay attention into government, what's happening in there right now, and you will see it's happening in your world too. You will see it is happening in your world. Isn't that amazing? You can be free, folks, but I understand that most people don't want freedom. They love complaining. They love their misery. There is this black female by the name of Joy Reid, and she appears to love her misery. Love it. And over the last few years or so, she's been having this little TV show on MSNBC, and she's been having a field day promoting evil. Just love it, promoting evil. And love her evil. It's amazing. I remember when I remember when I had hatred in my heart, but I didn't know it, right? But I knew my life wasn't at peace. And I didn't know why. I had read in the Bible, you can have peace. Christ came that you may be peaceful. Have peace. And he came that you may overcome the world. Not to condemn the world, but to overcome it. And I would read the Bible, I would go into these different churches, and I had none of that. And I knew I didn't. And so I didn't kid myself to see myself. I just didn't know how to get it. But when I asked, how do I overcome this? It was given to me, and I would not look back. And the anger was taken away, and the fear was taken away, and it was amazing. But if you look, pay attention to you first, and then watch what's going outside of you. You're going to see the same hell that's happening in government and media and in the world around you. It's happening in you because you have not overcome the world inside of you. What a mess! You can overcome the world inside of you, and you can say bye-bye to the world, and you will live in it but not be of it. So this female by the name of Joy Reid, she loved misery, and she's proud of it. The Guardian is reporting that MSNBC has reportedly canceled longtime anchor Joy Reid's show. It's what is evidently a major program and restructure at the liberal network. And so this female broke down, according to this. Joy Reid broke down sobbing while addressing being fired from MSNBC, claiming her show had real value. Right, promoting evil. Watch this.
My show had value. And that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value. have value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country. And yes, whether it's talking about Gaza, and where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God.
Yeah, your devil God. She's not sorry. Evil is not sorry for its destruction. She's not saying, you know what, I realize now that I'm fired or let go, however it happened, I was wrong. Sometimes for a few people, you look at yourself, you realize, what's been going on with me? And how can I overcome it? She's not ready for that. And what is 1619? What's that, Nick?
They try and change the founding of America to that because that's when slaves were brought to Virginia.
What?
That's the theory.
And what's the theory?
That in 1619, blacks were brought to Virginia or something like that.
But they were brought here because America was already here.
Well,
they were brought to America, dummy. She think that's when. What she think that's when America started?
1776 is the year America started.
But what is she saying though?
In 1619, they're saying, less than 100 years. No, 100 years before that. They're saying that's the true founding. But America wasn't even a country then. It was like colonies. It's just trying to make it about slavery.
I noticed that black people try to make themselves be important by words and not by action. They say, that doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even know what to say. That's so dumb, I don't know what to say. What the? Well, anyway, you can't. She's trying to make black people, listen, you can't make yourself be important by making up false facts. First of all, you shouldn't try to be important anyway. There's not one important person on earth. Zero important person. It is impossible. Impossible. That's what you are to me. Impossible, yeah. You can't be important. You ain't important. You ain't that important, period. I know in your mind you can make yourself feel important because you believe the lies of the imagination of thought that you are important. But if people look at you and they think, you ain't important, what the? And so blacks, stop following these stupid people. They making up things to try to make you feel important or feel better. Take hold of your own life as an adult and you work on you. And let the world go. Let the stupid female say what she want to say. She's miserable. And when she's crying, she's lying. She's lying. You got to take, like they used to do at one time in the good old days before the civil rights movement, black people, for the most, I'm sure you found some weakness in the bunch. One bad apple don't spoil a whole bunch. Folks. But black people were independent thinkers. They wouldn't try to make themselves be important by making up false facts. 1619, that's dumb. That is so dumb, I don't even know what to say about it. But apparently this female is gone. Ain't no use in praying for her no more. She gone from MSNBC, it seems. Ronnie is out of Ohio. Ronnie, welcome to the show. You're on the air. I mean Kevin, not Ronnie. Kevin, my bad.
Yeah, I was kind of confused right there.
Yeah, Kevin, my bad. Sorry about that.
You cool. You are okay. Well, happy Black History Month.
Thank you.
Why can't you say that? Why is it so hard for you to say that?
I said thank you.
Yeah, but why is it so hard for you to actually say it?
I said thank you.
That's okay. I mean, you're welcome, but...
Did I say thank you?
Yeah, you said thank you, but you didn't actually say it.
Say what?
Happy Black History Month.
Oh, happy Black History Month, Calvin.
All right.
Why do you celebrate? You celebrate Black History? Hold on, Kevin. Don't hang up. Let me take a quick break. Let me go back to Calvin in Ohio. So, Calvin, you want to say happy Black History Month. So, happy Black History Month. You celebrate Black History Month?
No, I don't do anything special for the month. I just recognize, everything that Black Americans have done to contribute.
Like what? For example, what? Let me just go from the last 70 years forward. What have Black people have done in the last 70 years or so to make America better?
Why you like the last 70 years?
Because ever since then, they've been enslaved by the so-called civil rights leaders and the media and everything, and they haven't done a dime of anything to make America great. What can you think of one good thing in the last 70 years? Because all they're doing is bringing up some of the things, and even then, a lot of that stuff is not real. Bringing up some of the stuff that happened way back then, but they can't tell you anything that they have done, that the blacks have done in the last 70 years to make America great again, to make it good. Are you able to tell me one thing that the blacks have done to make America better and help all people?
Well, I can't say about the Black community.
No, I said Black people.
The Black community. I don't use that phrase.
Me either.
I don't use the blacks, so I say the Black community.
You don't use what?
I don't use the phrase the blacks. I say the Black community.
Oh, okay. So tell me what the blacks have done. One thing in the last 70 years that made America better.
Well, I don't really pay attention to all of America, but I can say, for one thing that I have been paying attention to is where I'm from, our community actually works on eliminating black-on-black crime and eliminating gun violence in our community. We actually have different organizations that actually focus on that instead of focusing on everything else that's happening in America. We actually focus on our community and our
but even down in Ohio, where you're trying to do something about black-on-black crime, it has gotten worse. It ain't gotten better. Your community is still, blacks are still killing one another, robbing and hurting one another. So you're not able to tell me one thing that the blacks have done to make America better, right?
I'm going to definitely look into that, and then I'm going to definitely answer that next time. I can't really actually just say something off the top of my head.
Right.
I'm going to actually get back to you on that.
Okay.
But what I've been really paying attention to is since I actually first started watching, it just honestly, I know that when we talk, we actually have good conversations, but I actually been wanting to talk to you about this for so long. It's like you actually really do. I'm not saying it in a bad or disrespectful way, but it just seems like you really do despise everything that just is associated with the black community.
And how does it seem that way? What makes it seem that way?
All right. The reason why I called, why do you not what's your issue with the Black National Anthem? Because you've said every single time they've done it at the Super Bowl, you've had a problem with it. So I want to actually know, why do you have a problem with the Black National Anthem?
Because it's a made-up thing, and it separates us rather than uniting America.
It does not separate
it
us.
separates us because there's no such thing as some dumb Black national anthem. And they are doing that out of ego to say, they are trying to do this to make white people think that they are free by saying
It has nothing to do with white people.
some dumb. That's not even a real song.
Oh, I am so glad you said that. I knew you was going to say that. I am so glad you said that.
Go ahead. Why?
Well, because Lift Every Voice was written in 1900 as a Christian song. It was written to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's birthday. So it was a Christian song.
So why y'all turn it into a Black night? I've been hearing different things about it. I heard it was a poem once, and then I heard what you're saying is supposed to be like a Christian song.
It was a poem, but it was written as a Christian song.
But why did the Blacks take it and act like it's a Black thing then?
So when the NAACP coined it the Black National Anthem in 1919, they used it as a way to show unity between the Black community and the white community.
But that's not showing unity.
But it was coined as the Black National Anthem to show like the resilience of the Black community during the 1900s. That's why it was called the Black National Anthem. But if you actually listen to this lyrics, it's actually speaking of unity in the country.
But it's not unifying the people at all. Nobody like it but angry Black people. So let me just say this.
White people don't like it because it's called Black. It's called the Black National Anthem. But if y'all actually listen to the lyrics, it is talking about unity.
But if they were talking about
it because it's associated with the Black community.
But if it's meant to unify the people, why are they calling it Black?
Because we as Americans, we use the national anthem, yet the national anthem talks about killing Black people.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Why do we not sing the whole entire song?
It's too long to sing every time, man.
Whole entire. Let me say this first.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
It was written. I'm being told it's written, that Black National Anthem thing. It was written.
Lift Every Voice.
It was written by a Black activist back then. The evil NAACP started to promote the hymn as a Negro national anthem back in 1917, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, to show the resilience of the Black community during the 1900s.
But that's dumb.
What aren't you the one that continues to say that that Black people were doing good?
The Wikipedia is not calling the NAACP evil. I'm telling you, they're evil.
I know.
It was rose to prominence since 2020 with that Black Lives Matter after George Floyd riot, according to Wikipedia. There's nothing good about it, man. They have maybe when they wrote it for the president, I guess that's what you're saying. It was fine there because it was for the president, but they took it and they made it a dividing so-called national anthem.
They didn't make it dividing. They just named it the Black National Anthem.
Why?
But the whole entire thing, because it resonates.
Why didn't they leave it as is?
Because it resonates with the resilience of the Black community during the 1900s.
But the black people ain't got no resistance.
You always say that Black people were doing amazing during Jim Crow. Do you not say that?
100%.
Right, my point exactly. So if
but
in 1919,
they didn't think of themselves. They didn't think of themselves as being resilient Black people. They were just living a normal life.
Is that not the definition of resilience? Of us having good Black community, having fathers in the home, having family in the home, having property, having land. Is that not resilience from what we had before?
No.
I can tell you do not pay attention. You did not pay attention in English class.
Yes, I did. Let me tell you
No,
this.
you did not.
The NAACP was evil back even then. They were trying to start their mess and all that. But black people before this mess with the NAACP and the so-called civil rights movement, black people didn't think of themselves as being, I'm being resilient.
That's just the definition of resilience.
No, black people were just living their lives. They were raising their families. They were going to work.
They had family in the home. They had land. They had businesses.
Right. But they weren't thinking, I'm resilient.
That shows resilience because before we did not have none of that.
Well, how come the blacks don't have it now?
We can go all into that, but that's just wasting time.
Why? But if the blacks were resilient back then, and they'd have made up a black song, national anthem, made up mess. Why are they singing about it?
Take off the name Black National Anthem. Ignore the name Black National Anthem. What's your problem with the song?
Why are they singing about something that they are not?
That part I can't answer, man. That part I can't really answer. But my thing
I can answer why. They're doing it because they're trying to separate themselves from the white folks. They don't want to do the national anthem because they want to say that that's white.
Because it talks about killing black people.
That's not reason they're not doing that, man.
The third stanza in the national anthem talks about killing the African slaves that fought with the British.
I don't know anything about that, but
yes, written by Francis Scott Key, who was a slaveholder and anti-abolitionist.
What good is it doing the blacks to think about that?
Think about what?
What you just said about the national anthem. What good is it? How come you're not concerned about? Why you're not concerned about the fact that the blacks are totally failing in life right now?
Let me ask you your first question.
Yeah.
My thing about that is you said multiple times, you asked, when will we ever be one nation under God?
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So, with that, I'm saying, how can we, first question, when have we ever been one nation under God?
Before the civil rights movement.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So,
For
we were
sure
one nation
and
under,
without a doubt.
We were one nation under God. I could understand that there was some blacks and some whites getting along with each other. And then there was some whites and some blacks that stayed away from each other. But you said we were one nation under God. Yet we still had black people being lynched. Yet we still had Irish people and Italian people not even looked at as equal to whites.
Why you guys like to add other people to your mess? Because the Italian people and whatever people, they don't even like the blacks. They don't want to be a part. They don't want to be associated.
Everybody don't like each other. It's not just.
Why
did
you have to mention?
Like
Why did you have to mention the Asian and others when the Asian people don't want to be a part of the black people?
Because they're afraid of the blacks. One nation under God. During that era.
We were for sure.
But yet we still had black people being lynched. So how were we one nation under God when we were having black people being lynched?
And where's your proof of that?
Really?
Yeah.
They were having lynch mobs. They were having lynch parties.
Where's your proof of that?
You can literally look up photos and postcards of white people lynching black people. You can actually look this up.
And
they have photos.
You're not giving me proof of it.
They actually have photos of people taking pictures of white people
They have
lynching
photos
black
of people
people.
taking picture of everything.
I'm not talking about everything. I'm talking about one specific thing that you asked. Do not do that.
Because of time, and this is so interesting, I got to run, but listen, you have no proof of that at all, and there's no reason. There's no.
Ask Derek to look it up. Look it up on the internet and look.
You look it up and send it to.
I've seen it so many times.
Okay.
Ask Derek to look it up on the internet. There are photos of black people being lynched by white mob members
Listen.
and children and women watching, laughing at it.
Derek don't have time for all that mess. You find it and send it to producer at JesseLeePeterson.com.
That's
He ain't
another
got
thing.
time to be doing your homework.
That's another thing. Out of my whole entire 32 years, I have never once heard anybody call a Christian song dumb, stupid, and crap.
I'm talking about the black thing they've added to it. They made
You
it a
called the
black
whole song crap.
They made it black song. That's crap.
Okay.
If they had just had left it as a Christian song, would apply to anyone that liked the song, it'd be fine.
It applies to everybody. It applies to the whole entire community. Well, not community, nation. If you actually listen to the words, it applies to the whole entire nation.
First of all, because of time, I gotta run, man. I can't go.
Because of time, go ahead.
But let me ask. I have never seen any proof that it was a Christian song. Where did you get that from?
It was written as a Christian hymn.
Where'd you get? I know you said that, but where did you get that from?
A Christian hymn is a Christian song.
No, I'm asking you, where did you get that from? That it was originally a Christian song or hymn?
If you actually look up the person that wrote it,
okay, send that to my producer.
It was written as a Christian hymn.
Send that to my producer.
But you call it a Christian hymn, dumb and stupid.
Kevin, send that to my producer, okay?
You sure you're going to get it? I tried to sing something last time. I ain't getting no response.
Well, send it to Derek, producer at Jesse Lee Peterson. I got to run.
I know you got to run. You got to run all the time.
Thank you, buddy. Let me go to German out of Massachusetts. German, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, German. I'm sorry. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, you're German. I'm Jesse.
Right. Copy that. So, I called last night. I needed some emergency advice.
Uh-huh.
But I know the source of it now. It's just I have to forgive a friend. I just don't know how to do it, and let me explain to you as quick as I can.
Okay.
About 3 years ago, I started a business because this friend kept telling me to do it. I'd never done that before. I was just an employee everywhere I worked. And I decided to finally do it. And what I did was move in with him in his apartment. This was after finally living alone, after moving out from my mother's house at 29. So at 32 years old, I moved into his apartment. We start working, and as soon as I move in, the apartment also had 2 other roommates. It was 4 rooms. And I didn't know until after, but I was living in a trap house. At the moment, there was a lot of weird stuff happening, people coming in and out of the house. But anyway, we start working. I start making money with the business, and then we get a big contract. And at the end of it all, it lasted 2 months, and I find out that he was a drug addict, my friend that motivated me to do it. And he motivated me because before, when I was living with my mother, he was the one that helped me get my license. He helped me kind of wake up a little bit. And then my mother also realized I had to move out. But then through it all, he was helping me, and I trusted him. That's why I went in. And at the end of it all, he was just trying to use me. And till this day, I have big problems with debt, and I'm still trying to, because everything was under my name. And I just don't know what to do. How can I approach him? Because also, he became a very angry guy who would threaten me with violence and stuff. So I don't know how to approach this guy. I have to deal with it, and I don't know how to approach it. How do I forgive someone who has threatened you? And then he helped me. He motivated me to get the business, and then he accused me of stealing his idea. I'm like, how did I steal your idea? He was a drug addict. I never lived around drug addicts in my life. I didn't know nothing about this. You know what I'm saying?
What a mess.
It was crazy. And I grew up in a Christian home. I was a preacher and all this stuff, but it was nothing. It was ridiculous, man.
You were a preacher?
Yeah, I was like a young musician and preacher who would travel and stuff.
Hold on. Can you hold for me?
Of course.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take a quick break. I want to go back to German out of Massachusetts, and he left home at 28, I think. He started a business. A friend of his encouraged, according to him, encouraged him to start a business. He ended up moving in. It was a 3-bedroom place. He found out later that the guy was into drugs and all kind of stuff, and it's a mess right now. And he wanted to know how should he forgive? Am I right, German?
That's right. So
You didn't know anything about this guy before you moved in, or he encouraged you to start a business?
at all,
So
because he was a church guy.
Why would you take his advice then?
Because so when I was living, like I said, when I was living with my mother, he was the only guy from church. The way I met him was I needed, I would get cab rides because I didn't work because I was a preacher. My mom, I was like you said before. Sometimes you think you're serving God and you serving mama, and
Right.
I didn't notice that.
Mama made you become a preacher. Boy, one day you're going to be a
Right.
preacher.
And not only her, and everybody else in the church is serving mama too. So you think they from God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And also they have this religion. The religion that they really serve is believing that anger is good. And I didn't know that either, though I knew there was a problem in the church because I remember at 20 years old, before I even heard of you, I forgave my father in my room. I was in my room. I was like, I knew my anger came from me missing my father. And then at 27 years old was when I finally went to travel because he got deported. That was another mess. We can talk about that all day.
But
So
let me
I
ask,
am the
because
second anchor baby. Go ahead.
because of time,
Yeah.
and so you want to know how to forgive this friend?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't consider him a friend anymore, but
Right, this
I want to
person.
consider this at all,
You want to know
Um,
how to forgive him?
Yeah, how can I approach him? Because I think he still lives in that house where it was also drug dealing and he had problems. So I don't want to go around that environment. I want
Right.
to approach him
You
because
forgive him by not blaming him for your situation at all. It's not his fault that you were blind and you took advice and stuff that you were not ready for or whatever situation. You were blind. So you need to realize, wow, I didn't see what I was getting into. And I'm wrong. You can't blame him for that. It's not his fault that you were blind. So you need to realize I was blind and I didn't see what I was getting into. And yes, it looked like it was a bad situation, but I can wake up from this and start working on myself and live my life. You have no right to be angry at him at all. You were blind. You got into that situation, and he got his own blind life that he's living, but you have no right to be mad at him. And if I would recommend you not be angry at him because you're going to end up in a worse situation or similar situation if you don't drop your anger.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
not
every
his.
time
What?
I've been doing the silent prayer, and I get these glimpses of perfect peace, and then it just I go in and out of it. I go right back to my imagination, and then that memory comes back.
Right, and that's why the devil bring you back. Those evil spirits are bringing you back to the memory of the past, which doesn't exist, so that you could be angry again because you think it's you remembering those things, and it's not you at all. You got to stay present with real life, which is right here, right now, all the time, and stop going into the illusion of a future of a past, or you will never have peace. Whatever happened then is over. You need to drop it and don't hold anything against that guy because he was in the darkness. He only gave you what he had, only darkness.
Wow. Yes, sir.
And just move on with your life. Practice staying present. When you go in and out of those thoughts, just realize you're in a thought. Don't fight with it. Don't call it you. Don't try to do anything about it, but watch it. And go on with your day and live with the pain of thought and feeling until the Spirit of God takes them away from you, and He will. The light will destroy the darkness. The darkness has no authority over the light.
That's interesting. Now that I'm thinking now, because he did that to me, he was actually doing to that darkness that was in me.
Yes.
So he wasn't even doing it to me. He was just interacting in this dark world, and I was part of it. I didn't notice that.
Two devils interacting together.
And, you know, I've been telling friends this stuff, like, and it's not that I'm imposing, but they ask, you know, because I like to have fun. I'm always joking around, and they ask, you know, they talk to me. I have a friend who I tell them the same thing. It's just we get into that, and I'm still there. I don't say I'm free, but I'm noticing it now. Okay.
Yeah, drop it. Don't hold anything against that guy. There is not one situation that can happen to you in life, and you have a right to be angry.
Sure.
You never have a right to be angry, no matter what. So you drop that by dropping the memories of it and move on and just wish that guy well. He's lost. Based on what you've said, he's lost. He can't see. And it's not his fault you took his advice.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Not his fault. Yes, sir.
And
I see now.
And whatever financial situation that occurred as a result of your blindness, don't worry about it. It'll work itself out too. You pay what you can. You take care of today and let tomorrow take care of itself. Don't worry about it. Don't get into that either. You take care of it.
Right, because that's what's been the biggest problem. I get into
That's
these
not a
situations
problem. You're
where-
in your head about that, and you're calling it a problem. You got to realize all of your fears and concerns like that are coming out of your imagination, which is hell. You got to stop believing that and just stay present. And the truth will take care of all those issues. They will be worked out. You will see how to work them out.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, that helped quite a bit. You know, I never realized that the stuff I'm believing is just symptoms of me believing it.
Yeah, you believe in lies.
All the reactions are symptoms of, and it's so subtle, you know, because I'm used to. That's the way I grew. I grew up with 3 women in the house.
Whoa, what a mess!
It's like, yeah, it's a mess. So it's like I realized all through my life, you know, my mother and sister suffered because Dad went around. So did I, but they couldn't handle it the way I did. You know, I would at least realize that the emotion part, like, I just wasn't the same as them, but there was more like a subtle inner reaction that I would have, and it'll take long for it to come out. I knew it was wrong, but sometimes it would come out, you know, the anger and all that crap.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I have. I've spoken to her a while, and she realized, too. She was the one that kind of woke up first and said, hey, you got to leave. And then after I left is when I started thinking about all this. Then I heard you. Then I finally discovered what you were talking about.
Yeah,
forgiving Mom. I went to her, and she realized it. She said, I know. And there was certain specific things that I had to forgive her for, and we mentioned it. And she realized it also.
Right on. Well, stop panicking. When the devil give you thoughts and feelings, don't panic. Be still and stay in the light, and the light got you.
Okay.
You're panicking because you believe in lies. The devil tell you, oh, you got a whole bunch of bills now, and that guy's put you in this, and you panic. And then you give life to evil, and you become one with it. It's enough to see it, but you're not allowing the Father to take care of you because you're panicking with evil. You believe evil.
Serving evil.
Yeah. You're supposed to be still and know God, not overreact to know God. You're never going to know Him by overreacting. Your power is in forgiving and being still and allow Him to work for you. And He will. But you don't trust the truth. You got to trust it by not overreacting at all to anything or any situation or anyone.
Okay.
Let your ego go through what it got to go through so it can die.
I see. Okay. Will do.
That makes sense?
100%, yeah.
So forgive. Don't hold anything against that guy. That was your fault. You fell for it.
I fell for it hard, man.
Yeah, because and again, if you blame him, all you're gonna do is get into another situation after situation, and your situation is not going to change until you take responsibility for your own world.
Okay.
I wish you well, man.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, big guy. Thank you, man.
Are you doing the silent prayer every day, every night, every morning, night?
100%, man. And I remember one time I almost missed, and I left the house, and I immediately got into the car. I just could to walk from not doing it to the car. I was like, I can't do this. I had to do it. It's insane. It's just I can't live without it now. You know.
Yeah, and then I want you to now practice during the day when you get caught up in your thoughts. Just be aware of your body or something in the present, and you're right back with the Father. And don't fight with don't say, "Oh, I'm so stupid, I forgot to be present." Oh, don't call yourself, and because it's not you, there is no you.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank
man.
you very much.
You're welcome. I wish you well.
All right. God bless, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye now. What a mess! The blacks are fighting again. You can't take them anywhere. They're going to fight. One thing about the blacks, they love to fight. Let's reason together and work out the situation. That's not in the blacks' dictionary or the black song. What's that black song?
Lift every voice and sing.
They want to lift their voice and sing, but they want to fight. Fight, fight, fight. Blacks love to fight. Not all, but most. They fight at the grocery store. They fight at church. They fight at a funeral. They fight at the football game, the basketball game, the park, anywhere. They even fight at the airport. Fox 5 is reporting that travel plan took a violent turn for some passengers at Atlanta Airport on Wednesday. Cell phone video captured the moment a brawl broke out at what appears to be at Spirit Airlines boarding gate. They fight at the gate. Who fight at the boarding gate? You about to get on the plane. What? So you ain't got time to fight? You'll try to get in line so you can get on the plane first so you can get you some space up there to put your luggage. And you're fighting. Watch this from Fox 5.
Absolutely, just a really violent scene that unfolded here. Atlanta police say they responded to a disturbance here on February the 19th. Since then, hundreds of thousands of people have viewed this video that is making its rounds on social media. You can see that video right now. You're taking a look at what some passerbys recorded here at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport on Wednesday. You can see fists flying as passengers look to be waiting at their gate to board their flight. You can see the Spirit Airlines wall hanging right behind that group of about 7 or 8 people who appear to be involved. There's people yelling in the video. It is just really a chaotic scene, and as you pointed out, just certainly not something you expect to see here at Hartsfield-Jackson. Passengers we spoke with flying out today on Spirit say they hadn't heard anything about the flight, but they were stunned to see it.
Wow, you're not stunned. That's no surprise. This is what this one black woman said. President Trump was afraid of black excellence. She's talking about this. Black excellence. They are excellent in violence. Anywhere. It don't matter. Black excellence at work. By the time the police arrived, the crowd dispersed. And one last thing, I get to your calls here. So, but I want to say to the blacks, it doesn't have to be that way. You got to forgive your mothers. You got to, because you're yearning for your fathers, you're looking for love. And instead of finding the love, you're getting a fake life out of thrill of being violent, being angry, partying, and carrying on. It's just thrills. It's not making you overcome your hell. It's not helping at all. It's keeping you in hell. I would recommend to the blacks they stop listening to anyone that tells them that they have a right to be mad at the white people or anything. It's coming back on you. Drop the anger toward your mothers. Forgive your fathers for not protecting you from your mothers, and you will be free just like that. All right, for those blacks who want to overcome, I understand most of you don't. You love your misery. You love your hell. And if you think that's interesting, what you find at the airport's supposed to be like, you take your time, you walk over to you go through the metal detector, and if you're not in a hurry, you walk over to the gate, and you're looking around all the little stores and things that are there. You ain't stopping all the time, but you're looking. And you go, you sit down, you relax, you look up at the sign to see if your flight is still taking off on time. And then you just kind of relax. And then they said, time for boarding. You get up and try to get, closer to the front line as possible so you can get on early. Get yourself some space in the back is overhead there. And then you relax on the plane. And you have to put on your headphones, most people do, and you watch a movie or you listen to your music. You ain't thinking about fighting. Who thinking about fighting at the airport? Everybody fighting except baby Jessica's daddy. What the? Well, you think that's something? According to Action News, Jacks, 9 minors who were involved in 2-car theft in less than 13 hours this week, according to the Putnam County Sheriff's Department. And it looked like these 9 people are black. Watch this from W Jats. Watch this.
The Putnam County Sheriff's Office released body camera video showing the arrest of a 16-year-old after he and 8 other teens were involved in 2 car thefts this week. Sheriff Gator DeLoach tells Action News Jack's Nicholas Brooks local parents have to be more involved to prevent this kind of behavior.
5 teens aged 13 to 16 were arrested on Tuesday after stealing a truck and utility trailer from the First Church of God in Palatka, which led to a police pursuit.
Church.
Where the truck and trailer ultimately flipped on their side. 5 juveniles fled from that vehicle, all 5 of which were apprehended.
5 in the car, 4 of the kids, 3 are detained. Here's body cam footage of Putnam County deputies searching for the last 2 teens. Officers found a 16-year-old hiding underneath a house, leading to a tense standoff. The teen was arrested. In total, 3 of the teens faced felony charges, and 2 others were charged with misdemeanors. Sheriff Gator DeLoach says they also investigated on Wednesday an unrelated theft involving 4 teens who carjacked a DoorDash driver.
2 of which were charged criminally, 1 got away, and then 1 was charged with a misdemeanor.
Amazing, huh? Black excellence. The sheriff states that the motive behind the crimes were sheer boredom. Oh, they were bored. So the black guy, I'm bored. Let me go out and steal a car. Rather than let me go to work. Let me paint my house. Let me cut the grass. They're like, let me go and steal a car. Watch this amazing stuff. They were bored.
When we asked about the motives of the teens suspected in these cases, DeLoach said,
they're bored.
The sheriff also disagrees with claims that kids turn to crime because of a lack of outdoor programs, saying there are plenty of recreational options.
The city recreational department has a multitude of activities these kids can participate in. And there is just a total lack of parental involvement and supervision, and I think that's a major contributor to both of these occurrences.
7 of the 9 arrested teens attend the same junior through senior high school.
Wow, they got the same education. They're doing it not because they are bored. It's not because of the lack of activities. It's because they're angry and they're evil. They're angry, they're evil. No other reason. 0 reason. This wasn't like this when I was growing up, and I'm black. As it's displayed, black on the outside, white on the inside, but still black. This wasn't happening. And the Jim Crow law, remember? And last but not least, here's an image of the 5. Here's an image of 5 of the 9 Florida juveniles from X. They're black and real black. Look at them. The next generation. Black excellence at work. They're yearning for their fathers. The anger is coming from their mothers and grandmothers. And nothing's going to change that until they can drop that. Marion, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Jesse. It's Marion. Thank you.
Oh, it's Marion. He told me Mario. What the?
Old school name. Old school.
Right on. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me, Jesse.
Yes.
So my question is, I've been feeling some friction with the females of my family. I come from a family of alpha females, so hearing your podcast, I've been listening to it for maybe 6 months, so it's been transforming me to be more of a soft female, right? So I'm engaged. My family they respect him now, but they've always had an issue with him because I stopped drinking when I got with him because I got closer with God. He kind of reminded me about God and pointed me to him. So they all, from the beginning, thought he was controlling me when really it was God transforming my mind and delivering me from my generational addictions. But even now, we just got engaged this year, and they all seem happy for me. But my mom, she asked me if I was happy, like, are you happy? Like, I'm happy, but I want your support, though. And she hasn't asked me any questions about it, about wanting help for my wedding and stuff. Not that I want it, but I just don't think they support me. And I'm trying not to hold a grudge. I'm trying to, forgive them. And just, how do I deal with that, Jesse? Like, because is it bad that I don't care to be around my family as much anymore?
Why?
Like, is that
What's
bad?
wrong with you that you need them to support you at all? Why do you need that, period, from your mother or anyone? Why do you need that?
Man, that's good. I guess I don't know. I just thought I want someone in my corner, I guess. But
In what corner?
It's just you want your mom to be happy for you,
Why?
But,
Why?
Just because I guess I just thought that's how it should be.
Why do you think that?
I have a 17-month-old daughter, and I know when that day comes for her, I'll be ecstatic and excited for her, not jealous of her, because that's how I'm feeling. But I guess maybe I can see what you're saying, Jesse.
No,
it don't matter.
That was a question.
Oh. What was that question? I'm sorry.
Why do you need their support? Why do you need them to be happy for you? Why do you need what's wrong with you that you need those things?
Well, I didn't grow up with my dad, so I know my mom's always been important to me. My whole life, it's always just been my mom and my sister. So them two, I've always wanted their approval, I guess, because they were all I knew before I met my fiancé, and now...
Hold on a minute. Can you hold a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back to Miriam really fast. And Miriam is getting married. She gets no support from her sisters, her mother. They're all crazy. Miriam, did you say you have a child already, or you once you have a child?
Yes, I do got a baby already. We have a 17-month-old daughter.
You and your fiance?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So what's wrong with you that you need anything from your family?
I feel like that's just how we were raised. I mean, I just feel like they always taught us families everything. And
I know they lied to you. It was a setup. Don't fall. Let that go.
Damn. Mm-hmm.
You said damn?
Yeah.
Damn, George.
Yeah, but Dang, yeah.
And
Maybe that's why I'm so.
don't even invite them to the wedding. You have a little simple wedding. Don't spend a lot of money. You and your fiance get married and save your money so you can buy a house, you can pay your rent, you buy because you're inviting a bunch of people to your wedding that hate you.
Wow. You think they hate me?
Yeah, they don't love you. They have no love. And they don't have no love, you only have hate. They're jealous of you and they will destroy you. And they'll go to your wedding, they'll drink all your champagne, and in the background they're gossiping about you and your husband.
Oh my gosh. It's just hard because that's my mom, you know, so it's like hard to grasp. Like, really, Mom?
Your mom is your enemy. She's the one set you up to live this false life that you've been trying to live. She has no love.
It's just, you know, it's crazy because I know I hear about all the time, you know, having a dad is important. She had both of her parents in her life, you know, so I'm like.
But her mother turned her away from her father. That's why she's so evil. She's yearning for a father's love.
That's true because my grandma's, she's like pushing 70 trying to have boyfriends still, like it's cute. So dang, you're probably, damn. Okay, it's just a lot of mind blowing going on here for me. Sorry, because this is all I knew, you know, like that's all I thought. I thought they had my back. I thought they,
Nope.
you know what I mean?
They don't have your
think I
back.
should invite them?
No, do not invite them to the wedding. They are your enemy. But don't be angry at them. Stop trying to please them. You're about to start your own family and get far away as you can away from them and start your own family.
Wow. Dang, and even if, okay, I mean, like because I feel like I've been, you know, I really hate going to family occasions. I hate going to Christmases now ever since I stopped drinking, you know.
Stop hating and don't go. You're not required to go. There's no rules that says you got to be at any family event at all. And if they get mad at you for not coming, they're trying to control you. They don't want you to be free. They want you to be a part of the group so they can feel like they're right.
Wow. Right. Misery loves company, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just hard, man. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
What's hard?
It's hard to you know, it's just hard to hear, but, you know, it's just something I probably had to hear, you know, because, like I said, that's how I was raised on, you know. But at the same time, it's like, maybe you hate me.
You forget all that you've been taught growing up. You will never be able to live up to that. You will end up in 30 years from now, you'll end up in the same hell that they're in. 70 years from then, you end up in the drop all the things that you've been taught and just stay present and live now, one moment at a time.
Jesse. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Damn, I'm gonna have to hurt some feelings, man. Shoot, when these invitations go out.
Feelings are evil. Feelings. Anyone that has feeling has no love.
Gosh.
They only have hate, and they call that love. But you gotta forgive. You gotta face your mother. And say, you know what, Mother, I've been resenting you all my life because of what you've done to me. I realize now you can't help yourself. I'm sorry for resenting you. I'm sorry for being angry. I'm sorry for hating you. And then don't ask her to forgive you. God will forgive you. And if she said, well, I need to be forgiving you, or I did it, it wasn't me, it was your daddy. Whatever she said, let her say whatever she wants. Don't argue with her. You forgive her and then go live your life. God will forgive you. And you do the silent prayer, watch those thoughts so you can obey your husband and have an amazing life.
Yeah. Amen to that. Oh, I hear you, Jesse. Okay.
But do not invite them to the wedding.
For real, man?
100%.
Like, go ahead, sorry.
100%. You are inviting your enemies to your wedding. And don't spend a lot of money on a wedding. Little coffee, tea, and me thing, and that's it.
Right.
And go up to Jesse's office, get married, and go your way.
Mhm.
And don't tell
Right.
anyone.
Damn. So. Dang. Okay. I mean, it's hard because I was telling her about the. Go ahead.
You want to tell her what?
I was telling her about the venue the other day, like, because she's not asking me anything. So I was.
So why are you
my
telling your
mom-
enemy she's not interested? And she want you to come to her and beg for attention, and that give her a false sense of power, and she hates you for your weakness.
Damn.
Can you say damn one more time?
I'm so sorry.
No.
I hear you, Jesse. Wow. Okay.
Don't tell her about anything going on with your wedding.
So, just like, yeah, we did. I mean, it's like, okay, feelings don't matter. I hear you. Feelings are bad, So I
Feelings
don't
are
care
evil.
about-
They control you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So even if I'm like, well, all the invitations are out. Well, I didn't get one. Yeah. Like I just what? I just go about my day. If she asks me, well, I didn't get an invite. I just
We just admit, because you were not invited.
simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Man, yeah. Okay, yeah. Wow, well, that really answered a lot of my questions. Even the guy you were talking to before, you were saying the same about his mom. I felt that. I need to do that too.
Every human being on earth and every human being that's been on earth resent their mothers. And that's what the problem is. They won't go and forgive her. Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You're evil. You can help me to understand. You got to forgive her, though. You got to shake in your boot and deal with her and then walk away and never look back.
Wow.
Don't invite your sisters either. They're mean, too.
Shoot, dang, my sister's gonna be my bride or my maid of honor.
Not now.
Just out of obligation, I guess.
Let your child be your maid of honor.
Wow.
Is it a boy or girl?
The girl.
Let
yeah.
your girl be the maid of honor.
Oh my gosh, that makes sense, though. Yeah. Okay, Jesse.
And do the you know about my silent prayer?
I've heard about it.
Well, start doing it. If ever you need it now. Rebuildingtheman.com /silent prayer. All right?
Okay. I will, Jesse. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
And you're going to be shaking in your boots. But be shaking your boot, but deal with it while you're shaking. And God will take away the shaking. It's an illusion.
Wow, yeah.
And don't let them near your family. You go and live your life. Don't move down the street. Don't move down the road. Don't let them move in with you. And you live your own life. Forget about them. Just don't be angry at them, all right?
Okay. Okay. This is me accepting that, I'm like, okay, I'm speechless, so much truth. But yes, okay, I won't. I gotta start that journey.
Long story short, where's your father?
He passed away 2020, but before that he was in our lives. He lived 30 minutes away from us our whole lives, but never really came around.
Because he couldn't stand your mama.
Yeah, right.
He loved you, but he couldn't deal with the hell of your mama. But he loved you.
Okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah.
I got to run, but let me know how it goes, all right?
I will, Jesse. Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And you don't owe them anything but not to hate them. And not hating them is for your freedom, all right? God will draw you and give you perfect peace if you drop the anger. But you got to forgive them for what they've done. They couldn't help it.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse.
You're
I
welcome.
will.
Okay. Bye now.
All right, bye.
Let me go to Corey out of Michigan. What? Cora. Cora. Hey, Cora. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Jesse. So I am calling because I have been obviously going through the same thing for a while now. I've called a couple different times. We've counseled a couple different times.
Come back to your phone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Stay with the phone.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so it's just been, honestly, I've just had a underlining fear of going to hell, and in result of that fear, I constantly get thoughts, because I've gone and, forgiven my parents before, honestly, a couple times. And I have that fear, and it constantly tells me to go back and say something different, say something else, or this, that, and the other. But I ended up watching church on Sunday, and you were talking about how it's not about saying, I forgive you, because that can just be thrown out the window, and that's just kind of words. But it's about...
It's not about saying, oh, I'm sorry. Everybody says they're sorry, but they don't mean it. They just repeat it over and over again. So never believe a person when they say they're sorry. They're not sorry.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't... Well, okay, so I heard your message about how you need to apologize for hating.
Yes.
And that, I don't know why, but it just resonated with me and it made sense.
Yes.
And I was like, oh. And again, I'm sure I've already said those words, but for some reason, it stuck with me this time. And it really, I just knew I had to go do it again and say those words and really mean them. And I did. I went to my mom and we actually talked for a while. But it was a good conversation. We kind of went over some of the things she did growing up that were inappropriate and evil. And then I apologized for resenting her, and I said I'm wrong for hating you.
Okay.
And I moved on from that.
Nice.
But I also wanted to do it to my dad. But he wasn't interested in hearing it.
He said, I don't want to hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
And obviously that stung, because I knew after hearing your message on Sunday that I wanted to say these words for the last time and mean them. And I did to my mom. And honestly, I feel good about it. I'm ready to let my mom go after, truly forgiving her and saying, I'm sorry for hating you and I'm wrong for judging.
Right.
That's it with her. But my dad last night, he told me, Cora, I'm not interested in hearing that. And maybe it's because I've came to him before already.
Right.
I don't know if it's hitting something in his heart where he's starting to not want to look within. And he might, I don't know. He just started getting a little aggressive, and he was like, go talk to someone else about it. He calls me his bunny. We have a really good relationship. My dad was a drunk growing up. He was really unavailable.
And because of time, I'm sorry about that, but your question is what?
My question is now that I've forgiven my mom yesterday, and I wanted to do to my dad for the last time and really apologize for hating him, like you said on Sunday service, and he does not want to hear it.
And your question is
what do I do?
Nothing.
What do I
move on. Now, you tried to forgive me, be gone, you have done it, be done with it, and stop apologizing. No more forgiveness.
Okay.
And just do the silent prayer, watch those thoughts, don't believe them, because they're going to tell you that you didn't do it, he didn't want to hear you. Don't do that. Those are just lies. Don't do it. You move on with your life now.
Okay. And can I ask one more thing before you get going?
Yes.
So before yesterday with my mom, and I don't even know about this morning, but I just felt a lot of hatred in my heart, even if she was just laughing loud in the other room or talking loud on the phone or eating and making noises. Certain things had still really ticked me with her.
Right.
And I know it's funny and stupid, but she's sometimes I can just feel even if she's just in my my view, sometimes I still can just see that hatred inside me.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You still live with them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And your question is what?
What is that? Why is that still there? If I
just thoughts. thoughts.
Okay.
They'll try to tell you that. So watch those thoughts. When they tell you that, do nothing about it.
Sometimes I feel like they're not thoughts. Sometimes I feel like it's genuinely just a feeling inside me.
Well, the feeling come from the thought. You can't have the feelings unless you have thoughts. And so when they come, and because you didn't catch the thought, and now it turned into a feeling, just relax in it. Do nothing about it. Don't run away from it. Don't go yell at your mother or apologize to her or anything. You relax in it, live with it, let it stay, and God will take it away from you.
Okay, so that's just normal. That's just something God has to take away in due time, basically.
100%.
And so with my dad, you say to just let it go at this
Yes.
point?
No more telling him you're sorry for hating him. You already know you've done it. Be done with that too. And when you see him again, don't bring that up anymore.
Okay. But what if I didn't get to say the right words I wanted to, though?
Well, he doesn't want to hear it anymore. Don't impose that on him. You realize you do resent him. You went and said it once. Now you realize, well, hey, I didn't do that, but that's fine. Don't let the thought say, well, you didn't say it in the right way. You didn't use the right words. It's not true.
That sounds like my head all the time.
Right. And just remember, all thoughts are lies, and all of them are straight out of hell. No such thing as a true thought.
I want to stay with this, Jesse. I want it more than anything, and it's a life that I really want to give myself to, even if it brings hell. And I know that this fear of going to hell is a lie. I really do know that.
The fear of going to hell is because you are in hell already, and you're into time. Let that pass too. There is no such thing. The hell that you already in. Anyone that has anger already in hell. Anyone that has fear already in hell. That's what hell is.
So the devil's telling me that to just try to keep me here. It's an illusion to keep me here.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so for finalizing, I can let all the forgiveness stuff go now?
Yes.
Okay.
And move on.
Good. All right.
No more going back and apologizing. No more.
All right, I'm done. As of today, I'm watching the thoughts, I'm watching the anger, I'm watching the fear, and I'm getting over this house.
Right on. You stay with it because you want it. You are open for the truth, and the truth is coming in. It has already come in, and it's going to get brighter and brighter and brighter, and you'll be freer and freer and freer. Don't worry. And eventually, you will have no thought about those things.
Yay. Okay, thank you so much, Jesse.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes, all right?
All right, I will.
Okay.
Bye. All right, bye-bye now.
Bye. Super chat. So let me ask, what, do you know about this gold card that Donald Trump is offering to people who want to come to America and be like a citizen and start a business and all that? You know about that?
I had not even heard of it.
Nick, can you play that? I want to know what y'all think about this. This is from Fox Ben. I heard Hate mention it in the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. This is from Fox Business. President Donald Trump suggested the introduction of a gold card visa on Tuesday afternoon, a potential opportunity for foreign investors to buy their way to American citizenship. Listen to this, or watch this from Fox News.
We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship. And wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people.
So this is the proposal, and this is really from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. It will replace the EB-5 visa, which has been in place since 1990. This is what the EB-5 is. It makes the necessary investment. You have to make the necessary investment in a commercial enterprise in the U.S., plan to create or preserve 10 permanent full-time jobs for qualified U.S. workers. Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, says that EB-5 program is, quote, full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud. It was a way to get a green card that was a low price. Now we're saying, hey, get rid of that ridiculous program and just put the $5 million down, and there you have it.
So what do you think about the idea Donald Trump is saying with $5 million For $5 million, you can come to the country, create jobs and all that, and that way you can become a citizen of this country. What do you think about that?
I agree with it, man. Because we should treat America like a sports team and recruit the best. And, you know, Americans, we become like lazy and spoiled. And I like that competitive nature of like, may the best man win. That's like ultra capitalism to me. And I think that'll, it don't matter whether you're American or not. It matters your spirit and how hard you're willing to work to make society better, you know?
Amazing. When I first heard about it, I thought, oh, that's interesting. But then as I reflect on it, and it's bringing in people who already know how to make money and run businesses, that would be good for America rather than allowing these people to come in and all they want to do is take from America and not give back to America. So I think it may be an amazing idea.
Yeah, like Elon and Vivek, they're very, we need the best. That's how you make it. That's how you make the country great.
Yeah.
Because you need the best of the best. To where it don't matter.
And it used to be that way, man. In the good old days, we only allowed the best of the best to come into America. I just want to warn men and women because the caller guy, she's right. I've said that before, that women hate their mothers too. All boys and girls, men and women, hate their mothers. Anyone who's born of the flesh must be born of the spirit. You got to overcome the spirit of your mother, which is not her own, is evil, because Satan is the woman's god, right? So it's evil, but you can overcome it if you go and forgive. You must forgive, and then God will forgive you and draw you in, and you will have amazing peace for the rest of your life. It's just that simple. So it's for men and women, everywhere around the world. No one is excluded from that if you want to enter into the kingdom. So, though I am saying to the guys, stay on that path, and the ladies, stay on that straight and narrow path no matter what. No matter what. You stay there and stay there and stay there. And when you've done all you can do, stay there some more. If you don't want to, you don't have to, though. You can stay in your hell and suffer. And here's an example of suffering in your hell. Just one small example from Fox 8. WGHP, a teenage suspect charged with murder and attempted murder related to a Sunday night shooting collapsed in a Gaston County courtroom Wednesday upon being told he would not be granted bail. Watch this.
Sean Simpson came into Gaston County Court at points wiping away his tears as he stood before a judge. Just 16 years old, he's being charged with first-degree murder as an adult. That's as a result of a law change that went into effect in December, which allows teens his age to be charged as an adult in certain crimes. There was a realization that during this proceeding that the gravity was hitting him, a grand jury indictment that could come in the near future, and a moment that hit when a judge told him that he would not be seeing freedom anytime soon.
Court may impose a hold without bond. Court finds sufficient allegations to support the charges. Considering the relevant factors and the charges, he is ordered held without bond.
This moment is tough to watch, but it was something that Zaquavius Dawkins' family says they needed to be here for. Simpson accused of killing Dawkins Sunday night along Chester Street. Simpson also accused with attempted first-degree murder involving another victim. Dawkins' family says he was going to get medical supplies for his mother when he was killed. After Wednesday's court appearance, things were still raw for Dawkins' family.
It's affected everybody, even the neighborhood that he lives in. It affected everybody.
The boy like, what the? I'm a black teenager. Why am I getting no bail bond? What the? That's evil. You got to drop your anger, folks. All people, if you want to be free. If you don't want to be free, hold on to it. Just hold on to it and see what happens. Jacob, a first-time caller out of California. Jacob, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thank you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
May God bless you.
Thank you.
Jesse.
You too, buddy.
Thank you for taking my my call.
Yes, sir.
I've been trying to actually get on the show for a while. I was wondering what your opinion is. I've been with my wife for 20 years. We have 4 kids. I'm 37 now. We got together when we were 19. And we needed counseling, and we never got it. And now she's like, I don't want to be with you anymore. She doesn't want to be in the marriage anymore. And I mean, it went both ways, as in fighting with each other and arguing. And now that I have a counselor, a pastor that is working with me, she's like, I don't care if we see him 1,000 times, I ain't changing my mind. And I mean, I love her, and I mean, she left the other day and went to go drink and had drinks with a girl, and stayed in her car and went to sleep. And it's like, why I'm with the kids at 4:00 in the morning. And I told her it's evil. You know, it's not what a woman of God would do.
And what did your pastor suggest?
He is trying to just encourage us to forgive. And she says she forgives, but it doesn't really seem like it. She's still holding on to the past. You did this to me 15 years ago. You did this to me 6 months ago.
Yeah. And your question for me is what?
How can I make this relationship work with her? And because I love her, and I mean, I don't want to be without her.
And why don't you want to be without her?
It's because I invested so much time with her, and I feel like we have the resources now to make better decisions with our marriage and now it's just like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's too late.
Are you gonna keep the kids when she leave?
Yeah.
Here's what I recommend. Okay. You say to her, she's like, I don't want to be with you. I'm leaving. Blah, blah, blah. You say, oh, okay, bye. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
And then you let her go. You work on yourself, drop your anger, work on yourself, and take care of your children, and let her go. What's wrong with you that you need or want her to stay? Why do you want her to stay?
It's just like we're just together. I feel like we'd be better as a family.
But it ain't better. It ain't working out. She's ready to go. She doesn't want to be with you. Why do you want to be with anyone that doesn't want to be with you?
Yeah, I know.
No, that was a question.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't let her go like that.
You made her your God. Why can't you let her go? What the?
I love her too much.
No, you don't. If you loved her, that stuff you have is hate. That's not love. It's phony. It's fake. It pretend to be love, but it's hate. Because if you loved her, you would let her go, and you wouldn't feel anything about it. You wouldn't be lonely. You wouldn't be missing her. You would never call her again. You'd be done with her. But because you hate her and you call it love, that's why you're having a problem. You made her your God. Let her go and work on you. Don't argue with her or anything. Just say, oh, okay, bye. See you later.
Yeah. I tried that, and I always find myself just praying and just
praying
asking
for what?
God to,
Asking
just
God,
to like,
asking God to do what? Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Don't hang up. Back in a moment, folks. I want to go quickly back to Jacob. And Jacob's wife wants to leave. He doesn't want her to leave. He wants to know, what can I do? Jacob.
Yes.
It's abnormal to want to be with anyone that doesn't want to be with you. And it's abnormal to miss them, to be lonely, to be pining for them. You have made them your God. And that's why you feel that void, that emptiness. This is a perfect time for you to let her go and take the ego pain and start working on you. And you're fortunate, especially if she's going to leave those kids and you don't have to be fighting over your children, let her go. It's abnormal to be crying and missing her. And I don't care if you've been together 100 years. You're not supposed to miss anyone at any time. You made her your God.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
And the more you beg her to stay or whine about it or anything, it's fulfilling her ego and it giving her false courage to leave you because she feel like she's in control of you. And that make her feel alive when she's really dead spiritually. But you make her feel alive. Let her go. Don't argue about it anymore. Don't tell her to stay or anything. And start working on you. Because if she doesn't work on herself, all she's going to ever do now is give you hell, and she will never forget the past because women, not all but now, except those women who are working on themselves, they don't forget the past. She'll bring that up 50 years from now.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
That's what she's been bringing up the past every single time we get in some type of argument.
Yeah, let her go, man. Don't argue, don't say, oh, okay, see you later. When you leaving?
Yeah, we're in a kind of a bad situation too, though, because we just moved from Oklahoma City back to Yuba City, California, and we ain't got no place yet. We're living out of motel rooms. She gets her own motel. I get mine, and it's just burning money.
And don't give her any more money. Let her get her own money for her own room and let her suffer. Don't give her a dime. If she's leaving, don't give her anything. She's leaving the marriage, not you.
Yeah, but I was the one that, I guess you could say, ruined it, I guess, you know?
How?
I mean, just the way I treated her, and I didn't treat her with a lot of respect and a lot of love.
How did you treat her?
Well, it's just, I mean, it was physical sometimes in the beginning, and there's a lot of like arguing and just verbal.
You guys would
abuse.
fight?
Yeah.
Both of you would fight? I mean, you guys, will you fight her or both you fighting each other?
Each other.
Yeah.
Like in.
And you know
why?
why?
We loved each other. We love each other. And I mean, it's not like that anymore.
Where's the love in that?
Yeah, I know.
No, that's a question.
Jesse.
What do you mean you love her? You don't love her and she doesn't love you. That's not love. That's hate. Anger is hatred.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't love her.
We didn't have Christ like in the middle of our.
And you still don't have Christ in the middle.
Yeah, I know.
If you had Christ in the middle, and I don't care what has happened, if you had Christ in the middle and she decides she wanted to leave, you'd be able to say, okay, bye. Because you don't need her. Your love comes straight from God, not from any human being.
Yeah, that's true.
But unfortunately, it's not doing that right now because you're trying to get love from her, and she doesn't have love to give, and you don't have love to give her, so you have two devils together fighting.
Yeah, I see that. And like over maybe about a year ago, I tell her I love her every day, but she hasn't told me she loved me over a year at least.
And why do you tell her you love her every day?
Just so she knows. I mean, just so she don't forget. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because I really feel like I really do love her.
But love is not
And
a feeling, man. That's hate. That's not love. There's no feelings in love. A love is a dispassionate spirit. That fake love you have is a passionate feeling, but that's hate. That's not love. Because if you loved her, you can let her go and not feel a thing. And you tell her you love her every day, she think you're weak. And you are by telling her that every day. Why you need to tell her that every day? That doesn't even make sense. You've been a beta male. She hates beta males.
I know. It's just this is turned me into a beta a little bit, Jesse. Not.
No, if you tell her you love her every day, you big beta. Beta. Let her go and start working on you so you can overcome this. Because if you cry over her or try to keep her, and, oh, I miss her and I love her, and she's gonna leave, and you're gonna find yourself doing the same thing with the next woman. You just find yourself another false god.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to put any type of time into another relationship. I don't think it's just too much. It's too much.
Have you heard me say you need to forgive your mother?
Yeah.
Have you done that?
I have. I mean, yeah, I have.
You told your mother that you forgive her?
No, in my mind I did, but I didn't really tell her.
So you didn't do it then? I didn't tell you go and tell her in your mind. I told you to go to her. And, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You turned me away from my father. You impose your will on me, and I become just like you. That's why you don't know how to deal with your wife perfectly, because you are mama's boy.
Yeah.
And
Well, I wouldn't not need I'm not really attached to her, my mom. I mean,
well, yes, you are. You haven't told her you forgive her yet. Why not?
I could try that. I could do that today.
Why you haven't done it?
It's just been something that's been just, I don't know. I just haven't really thought about it as much to do it.
Jacob, you have to, if you want to be free, buddy, you got to work on you. You got to overcome your mother's spirit by forgiving her. Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. And God will forgive you when you forgive your mother, and he will take her identity away from you and give you back his spirit, and then things will come to order for you. God in Christ, Christ in man, man of a woman. And so you wouldn't have to be begging this woman to stay or even wanting her to stay. If she stays, it's fine. If she doesn't, you're not supposed to try to make a relationship work. You're not supposed to put one iota of energy into trying to make a relationship work. It either works naturally or it doesn't. And if it's not working naturally, it's not meant to be. You're trying to make some be that's not meant to be, and all you're going to catch is hell.
Yeah.
Have you forgiven your... So what?
Yeah, and that's what's happening.
Yeah. So why don't you let her go and just start working on you? Don't call her. Don't try to contact her. Don't nothing. Don't ask her to stay. Just let her go. And you just work on you and take care of your children. Build a life for you and your children.
I don't know. I just don't want nothing to happen to her.
Why not?
It's a bad world out there, and
but why do you care at all? Take any concern what happens to her? That doesn't make sense. Mama, don't be a mama. I don't want nothing to happen to you, baby. That's her responsibility to take, not yours.
Yeah, I feel like since I'm a husband and I'm responsible for for her to a certain extent.
But if she doesn't want to be with you, if she's willing to leave or wanted to leave, you're no longer responsible to her, for her or to her. You owe her nothing.
Yeah.
Because of time, I got to run. But here's what I recommend. You forgive your mother for recreating you in her image. And that's why you made this woman your God. Men and women make mama God, and you're always attracted to what you hate. So forgive your mother and forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother. Do the silent prayer. Stay out of your thought and let that woman go. Be done with her. Don't argue with her. Don't cry. Don't beg. Don't anything. Because your ego is hurting, not you. If the thoughts and the pain is in your body, but not in you, the real you, feel nothing about it. It's the fake you that's missing her or don't want her to leave. And if you keep her, I promise you, you're going to suffer for it. She's going to bring you pure hell.
Hopefully not, but yeah, I hear you.
And stop sounding so pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be like, uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. It's just an everyday thing, and
what's the everyday thing?
Just this whole thing every day. It's like trying to get back with her, trying to make things better, just praying to God that He'll change things, and just keeping the family together. My kids are out of control. They're running away from school. She did other things too. And
how old are your kids?
6, 4, 13, and 7.
So the kids are out of control because the parents are out of control. Kids are examples of whatever their parents are. Your kids just one day decide, oh, let me go out of control. The parents are out of control. How do you expect them to be in control or under control if the parents are out of control?
Yeah.
If you have bad children, it's because the parents are bad. Children are not naturally bad.
Yeah, that's true. But it's got to that point, and I spared the rod, and I mean, yeah, I didn't spank them. I didn't, do that.
Forget about what you have or have not done. Start working on you so the Spirit of the Father can guide you and you'll be fine. But you got to put that first. Loving what's right with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nobody else or anything else. And then God will guide you. He'll show you how to overcome all this stuff. But you got to stay out of your thought. And stop begging God to keep that woman there and all that, because you're begging God to let the devil stay with you.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You're like, please God, let the devil stay with me and give me more hell. It's not bad enough yet, Lord. I beg you. Let the devil stay.
Oh.
You're begging God for misery, and when misery comes, and it will, you're going to be like, what the? Take the pain, let her go, work on you.
Okay.
Let her go.
Thank you. I don't think I could do that, though, Jesse.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay, then suffer. Suffer and die, because she's going to destroy your soul. The more you show her that you want her, the worse she's going to get, because she hates your weakness. Women want men that don't want them, don't need them, don't want them. They're drawn to that. Women hate men that want them.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, start working on you. Forgive your mother, forgive your father, do the silent prayer, stay out of your head, and see what happens. Now, if you want her, God gonna let you keep her, and the devil gonna be very pleased, because he's gonna destroy you through her. You think you've been a beta, you're gonna get worse.
Well, I hope that it gets better, though, God willing. And
God ain't got nothing to do with it, and hoping it ain't gonna do it either. It can't get better when you're willing to stay in hell, man. You're willing to stay in hell. How can things get better? And you're begging God to keep you in hell. How can things get better?
can't.
So how you hoping for something that ain't gonna happen when that's not what you want? You don't want things to get better. You want that woman for your ego.
I love her, though, Jesse. I love her, and I
No,
love the kids. And
no, you don't. You don't love the kids, and you don't love her. Because if you loved her, you wouldn't be yearning for her like this. You wouldn't be weak. You wouldn't have. You can take it or leave it if you loved her. You hate her, and you're calling it love because that emotion you have that come from hate, it feels like love. And the devil is telling you that you love her, and the devil is lying to you, and the devil would make her stay, and then you would catch more hell, and the devil would laugh at you.
yeah, and he is laughing at me.
Yeah. He's going to
He's
laugh
winning
more.
right now.
He's laughing more if you keep her. He's going to laugh at your pain. And then he's going to tell you, buy her some ice cream. Buy her some flowers. And you're going to go buy the flowers, he's going to laugh at you some more. Because you're listening to the devil and not to God. You're praying to the devil and not to God. Let that woman go, man. Put only God first and no one else. The fact that you're weak like this is something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I got to run.
All right, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you.
Let me
And
know.
God bless you.
You too, buddy. Let me know how it goes.
I will.
I promise you, though, if you beg her to stay, you will regret it.
Yeah, I'm not going to beg her no more.
Yeah, let her go. Don't show weakness at all. Just let her go. Don't argue anymore. Let her go. Tell her to hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back.
Okay.
Let me know how it goes.
I will, Jesse. Thank you
You're
for
welcome,
taking my
buddy.
call.
All right. Let me go back to Don, a first-time caller out of Michigan. Don, thank you for holding. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. First of all, I want to say that you are uniquely amazing. I love listening to your show.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, shit. I guess the reason I'm calling is I lived a hard life. I've sinned throughout my life.
You what?
I was not raised. I'm sorry?
You say you did what throughout your life?
I sinned a lot.
Speak right into your mic, okay? I mean your phone.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Right, you say you sinned a lot. Go ahead.
And I held a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up with stage 4 cancer. And I think that holding on to that anger can manifest inside your body. And the crazy thing about that is I was told I was not going to live. I was told I had 4 to 6 months when they diagnosed me. And they sent in a priest. And the priest came in and said, I know that you're very angry with God because of what's happening to you. And I looked at him and I said, well, I'm not angry with God. Why would I be? He gave me a life. And if it's time for him to call me home, why would I be angry? And I think that kind of set him off guard. And a lot of miracles kind of happened and came together that ended up saving my life and giving me 2 years to forgive and to praise God. And I do appreciate the time he's given me. I was hoping that you could maybe say a prayer for me. Today I go in for test results because the cancer is back, and it's back very aggressively. And I just want to say that I believe in God because he made me believe in him. He took somebody who never really cared or about religion or never really thought about it or dismissed it, and he showed me he exists. So I just wanted to call and thank you for everything you do. And I was just kind of hoping, since I think you are such a pure spirit, that maybe you could say a little prayer for me.
I said a little prayer for you forever and ever and ever. Let me ask. When you say, no, first of all, you're right about anger. The spirit of anger is evil. And anger destroys every fiber in the body. It destroys the body completely. And you're right about that. But when you say you sinned all of your life, who sinned? Who are you talking about?
Well, I just, I never believed in God. I always kind of did what I wanted. I was promiscuous when I was younger.
Come back to your phone.
I said I was promiscuous when I was younger.
Meaning that you were a slut.
I was a slut, yes.
Nice.
I was a slut. I'm 50 years old now, so, I don't quite get out. But, of course, my views on that have changed. I didn't believe there was a God. And like I said,
Right.
God...
But I asked.
I didn't go to God.
I asked. You said you sinned all your life. Who sinned? Who are you talking about?
When you say I sinned all my life, who sinned? I sinned.
And who are you?
I am a child of God.
And that it?
I don't know. Who am I?
So you're a child of God. So you told me who you belong to, but who are you?
Who am I in what aspect?
Who are you? You said I sin. Who are you? Who are you talking about?
I guess I'm not following you, Jesse. I don't know where you want me to go with that.
No, I'm just now. I'm just softly and asking a question. Who you said, Jesse? I sinned all my life. Who are you talking about? Who did the sinning? Who are you talking about?
I guess if you believe in the devil.
No, but you said when you say I, who is the I? Who are you?
I am Dawn.
Okay, that's your name.
Uh-huh.
And so who are you?
I don't know, Jesse. I don't know.
Then why do you say I sinned all my life?
Because I have sinned all my life.
When you say I have sinned, who are you referring to? I'm just trying to figure out. And just relax and tell me, when you say I have sinned all of my life, who are you referring to?
Myself.
And who are you?
I am a sentient being. I don't know where else to go with that.
And so if you don't know who you are, how can you proclaim that I have sinned all my life? You don't even know who you are, so who are you talking about?
Okay, are you saying that I haven't sinned all my life? Or somebody else was doing it for me? I don't understand.
Let me ask, which is easier for you to accept? I have sinned all my life, or all of my sins have been forgiven?
I believe all my sins have been forgiven.
Then why do you say I have sinned all my life?
I see where you're going.
No.
I am no longer a sinner.
Well, then why do you call yourself that?
I guess I was just trying to give you some background on who I was.
But you still believe you
opposed
have
to-
sinned all your life when there is no you and all your sins have been wiped away. Who told you or encouraged you to do the things that you have done all of your life?
I made my own choices.
And how did you make the choice to be a sinner, as you've said, all your life? Tell me the step you took to make that choice.
I did whatever pleased me. I
How did
didn't
you
believe in
make
God.
how did you make the decision to do that?
I don't know if it was a decision. I think it was just I didn't believe, and I just went with what felt good.
And how did you influence yourself, which doesn't exist, to go with what feel good? What step you took to do that?
Like, what kind of things was I doing to be a sinner?
No, what made you do it?
I guess a lack of knowing any better, or a lack of just not having a connection to my Creator, or not believing in my Creator.
So you don't know what did it, huh?
I don't. Do you know?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me?
When you were a child, you were innocent. You loved what was right. You did what was right, and you didn't judge. One day, your mother came along and imposed her will on you, whichever way, either too mothery or too controlling, or tried to make you live the way she was living, turn you against your father, and in that very moment, you became angry. And in that very moment of becoming angry, you forgot not only your earthly father, but your spiritual father, and you went into the wilderness of your imagination. And you've been living one with evil all of that time, and you've been calling evil you. You have been calling your thought you, your feelings you, this you, and that you. You have identified with evil, not understanding that all thoughts are all lies all the time, and they have influenced you to act out and do the thing they wanted you to do, and you call it you. You've been one with the evil because of anger. And that's why you must drop your anger by forgiving your mother and forgiving your father for not protecting you from your mother. And God will forgive you, and you will be free. You will enter into the kingdom of heaven right now, and you will have perfect peace. But you got to forgive. All that other stuff you're talking about is mumbo jumbo.
Okay.
You only
so
have
I
one.
guess that was
You only have one problem, and that is you have not forgiven your parents.
Well, I honestly, after my experience, like I said, where I almost died, and I witnessed so many miracles, I believe that God gave me these extra years to forgive, and I believe I have.
So you went to your mother and forgave her for what she done to you?
No, both my parents have passed.
So you haven't forgiven them?
I've forgiven them in my heart. I can't physically tell them I forgive them.
So you realize in your heart you were wrong for judging them for what they did to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that true?
Yes.
And so now you have no more anger?
No.
So are you doing the silent prayer?
Right now?
Are you doing the silent prayer morning and night?
Oh, yes, yes.
You doing my silent prayer every morning, every night?
Well, I don't do your silent prayer. I do prayers every morning and every night.
What kind of prayer you do every morning, every night? Give me an example. What you do?
I thank God for the time He's given me. I've thanked him for opening my heart. I've thanked him for the people that have come into my life. And I've just thanked him for the opportunity to, again, have 2 years to right my wrong.
Wait some time.
Okay.
All vanity prayer. Had nothing to do with God, and God ain't paying no attention to that.
Okay, so what do you suggest?
I want you to go to rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer, and start being still to watch those thoughts so God can bring you out of the darkness of your imagination, and the Spirit of truth will intercede on your behalf. You need to be still and let God's will be done. You need to stop identifying with your thoughts, your emotions, whether so-called good or bad. You need to surrender all of your misery by letting it go and let God take them away from you, and you'll be free. You need to let go.
I see.
Do your little hooping and hollering. But when you're done hooping and hollering and crying and begging and carrying on, be still and know God. I promise you, you'll be free.
Okay, Jesse.
What do you think about that? You disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with it. I think there's logic in that. I think that training your brain
No,
to
not
master
training.
that.
Not training your brain, overcoming the thoughts. The thoughts have been driving you. The Spirit made a home in you, and it has made you think and do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. You have to realize it's not you, but it's the spirit of evil that made a home in you. It ain't about training your brains. It's about overcoming false thoughts, false illusions, which are of evil and not of God and not of you.
Okay.
Remember Paul said, the things I do, I don't want to do. The things I want to do, that's right, I cannot do. I have to realize it's not me, but something else is causing me to do these things. You ever heard Paul say that?
No.
Oh, well, he did. And you're having the same issue. Every human being have the same problem. That's why we have to forgive our parents first, because we come through the spirit of mother, and the mother's spirit is evil. And it's not her spirit, but the spirit made a home in her. And she passed it on to the children, generation after generation, passing it on to generation. They have no love. So now, my prayer for you and what you're dealing with, I wish you well. I really do. But I want to encourage you to do the silent prayer so you can let go and let God save you from your misery.
Okay. All right.
All right, what?
All right. There's logic in what you're saying. I don't argue that.
And do you still have any anger at all?
I'd be lying if I said no.
You're not going to...
Towards my parents?
So what?
I said towards my parents, no. I don't have any anger towards them. Anger in general, I'm trying to not have anger in my life, and to forgive everything and to not let things affect me.
Well, do the
but
silent...
I mean, it takes work, Jesse.
Do the silent...
you make it seem like it's so easy. It takes work.
It is easy. And yes, it takes work. But the work that it takes is to do the silent prayer, practice being present, and stop identifying with the voices that speak through you that sound like you. It's not you. You're not the thoughts. Okay. You're not the feelings. You're not the tears. You're none of those things.
If you take away all of that, if you take away all my thoughts, all my fears, all my emotions, and all my tears, what am I left with?
That is the $1 million question. Get rid of all the false stuff and you'll see.
Okay.
You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your body. You're not your emotions. You're not none of those things. But you have been identified with those things all your life, and that have kept you from returning to the Father. You're lost in the wilderness of your imagination. And the Father tried to draw you out of it. He said, those thoughts are not mine. Your thoughts and your ways are not mine. Mine is way above that, he says, not those down below where you live. And you've been holding on to those things all of your life. And you call them your identity. And all you have right now are thoughts and ideas about God, but you do not know him. You got to let go of all your ideas and all your thoughts about God. Everything you've been taught about him, you need to let it go. They're just thoughts, and they don't work. If you want to know God, you got to stop thinking about God.
Well, I feel like I didn't really go to God. I feel like God came to me.
God did not come to you, and you didn't go to him. God was always with you. You just didn't know it because you went into an illusionary world of the imagination. But all you need, and all you need to know, is with you. You just don't know that because you identify with the wrong God in your imagination.
Well, somebody was performing miracles in my world, Jesse. And if it wasn't God, I don't know who it was.
What miracle they performed?
Well, I'll give you a for instance.
A short for instance because of time.
Sure, absolutely. So after I had my exploratory surgery, and they told me I had 4 months to live. Mind you, I was highly drugged up. I was in the hospital because I just had surgery. I don't even remember doing this. Again, I'm 50 years old. I picked up my phone and I called a friend who I haven't talked to since I was in my early 20s. And I don't remember the conversation I had with her. But I do know that she has the same number. She is married to a man.
Come back to your phone. Stay with your phone real fast.
Okay, she was married to a man that was a pharmaceutical rep and was able to get me into the best cancer institute with the best doctor in Michigan.
And what's the miracle?
And the miracle was something made me call her. I mean, I even talked to her since I was in my 20s.
How is that a miracle? You made a phone call. The devil should have told you to do that. What's the miracle in that?
The miracle is that phone call ended up saving my...
Hold on a minute. Hold on. 888-7753-773. I want to go back to Dawn, a first-time call out of Michigan, and she's has relapse in cancer. She had it and went away for a minute, and is back, and she wants us to pray for her. Hey, Dawn?
Yeah, Jesse.
And so you were telling me that you had a miracle, and the miracle is when you first were diagnosed with cancer, the doctors told you that you didn't have but so many days or so long to live, 3 years or whatever you said. And then the miracle is you thought about your friend, you call your friend, and she told you about this hospital, and you went into this hospital, right?
Well, I think you're simplifying it. This is somebody who I haven't talked to in 30 years,
Right.
somebody whose phone number happened to be in my phone and be the same,
Don,
and somebody who's married to somebody who had a connection to save my life.
Don, stay with the phone because you're going in and out, so try to stay close to it.
Okay.
And so the miracle, what was the miracle in that?
The miracle in that, like I said, Jesse, is it's somebody who I haven't thought of in 30 years. It's somebody who coincidentally had the same phone number and was still in my phone, and somebody who had a connection to somebody who could save my life and who did.
And what was the miracle of it?
That my life was saved.
But you still have cancer.
Well, it gave me 2 years to forgive and to let go of all my anger and to get in touch with who, what I believe is God.
But you have not let go of your anger because he called in. You said, my anger is destroying me. So why don't you let? But anyway, that's not a phone call. It's not a miracle. But just FYI. But why don't you let go of your anger completely so God can help you?
Well, like anything else, Jesse, it's something that's hard to do, but I'm going to keep trying to do it.
And where is the proof that you forgave your mother?
I don't know how I prove that. All I know is that I have no hatred for her.
And what did you forgive her for?
Well, I forgave her for dying when I was 12 years old.
You forgave her for dying when you were 12. And what did you forgive your father for?
A lot of abuse.
Your father abused.
And neglect.
He abused you?
He abused me and neglected me, yes.
And how did he abuse you? Without going too deeply personal, give me an example of how he abused you.
Physically.
He beat you?
Well, not quite. But I think we all can draw a line to what that means.
And so you forgave him?
Yes.
All right. Here's what I recommend you do. If you need to go to the doctor, of course you go to the doctor and you do whatever you want with them, what they recommend or whatever. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving you doctor advice. But what I recommend you do to go to rebuildingaman.com /silent prayer. And do your little hoobah until you can see the right way to go. But I want to encourage you to be still so you can let go and feel the pain of your ego, meaning the loneliness, the anger, the sadness, the up and down, feel good, bad, the thoughts. Live in that and let God, so God can come and save you from that. Those are spirits, and you cannot save yourself from that. And they are not you, so stop calling them you. You're not the anger, you're not the worry, you're not the loneliness, you're not this, you're not that. And he will come and he will take those things away from you and make you free. You need to work on that and then let his will be done.
All right, Jesse, I appreciate your words. Thank you very much for your time and for letting me on your show.
Yeah.
But I do want to just kind of ask you one thing. So when we started the conversation and I told you that I feel or I think that you are uniquely amazing, if my feelings and thoughts are not my own and they are of sin, then you seemed very happy to accept them.
Well, I was just listening to you in conversation. When you said it, it went in one ear and out the other. I understand what you meant by that. But it wasn't, I didn't hold on to it and get all puffed up about it at all.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, Jesse, thank you. I do think you're amazing. I have a lot to think about now and a lot of steps that I do need to take. And you have a wonderful day.
I wish you well, and let me know how it goes, all right?
Sure, Jesse. Take care.
All right. A quick thing I want to show you, then I want to get back to your calls and your super chats. I just want to ask, did this street preacher handle this LGBTQ pastor with love? Watch this from X. Oh, sorry, Nick. I didn't let you know. It's down near the bottom there in aisle 3.
Now you tell me, what did Christ say about homosexuality?
Matthew chapter 19, verse 4. He says, let a man come together with his wife and let them become one flesh. He was speaking about marriage. Marriage is between one man and one woman.
What was the culture of the time?
I think marriage is in every culture.
No, what was the culture of the time?
First off, in Romans, it talks about our moral code. Do you believe in the moral code?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. You are so lost. So lost. Because what is the basic principle of the gospel?
To repent and turn to Jesus and know him.
The basic foundation of the gospel is love.
To be saved from sin and death. Right?
Through loving your neighbor as yourself.
You are doing the absolute opposite of loving your neighbor. You are leading so many people astray into hell.
What the? Two devils fighting. What do you think about that? What do you think about it? Amazing. I got that, my producer. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Derek said he showed love. Amazing. Derek, come real fast and tell me why. You believe my producer, he black. He believed the guy showed love, I think. Let me go quickly to Michael while Derek is coming in. My producer, Derek, is here. And just in case you forgot, I want to play that short soundbite one more time. How do you think this preacher handled this situation with this street preacher?
Is he playing it?
Yeah, he's going to play it.
Oh, okay.
Now you tell me, what did Christ say about homosexuality?
Matthew chapter 19, verse 4. He says, let a man come together with his wife and let them become one flesh. He was speaking about marriage. Marriage is between one man and one woman.
What was the culture of the time?
I think marriage is in every culture.
No, what was the culture of the time?
First off, in Romans, it talks about our moral code. Do you believe in the moral code?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. You are so lost. So lost. Because what is the basic principle of the gospel?
To repent and turn to Jesus and know him.
The basic foundation of the gospel is love.
To be saved from sin and death. Right?
Through loving your neighbor as yourself.
You are doing the absolute opposite of loving your neighbor. You are leading so many people astray into hell.
Right on.
This is my producer, Derek. So, Derek, hey. Offended ask you this question. Offended ask you.
F-I-N-N-A.
Offended ask you.
F-I-N-N-A.
So, how do you think the preacher dealt with her?
I thought it was amazing.
You thought it was amazing?
Yeah.
And did you think he dealt with her with love?
Oh, yeah. I didn't see him getting prideful. Did you see?
What was the love in that?
What was the love in it? Well, when he brought up the gospel and when he brought up scripture. And I noticed he didn't get real puffed up and prideful. He was just answering the questions to me.
And so he had love in that?
Yeah, giving her the word, the truth. That's what I believe.
And did she have love? How did she deal with it?
She was upset. She was talking about what are the basic fundamental principles of the gospel. And he was like, to repent and turn to Jesus, which it is. And she was just like focused on love. So I don't think she really knows what love is. So
what did you think about that, Anchor Baby? If you
Mutual combat.
Did he show love?
I don't think so. It looked like he was getting mad too.
You thought he was getting mad?
Yeah, personally, well.
Why are you squinching like you black?
Sorry, I'm trying not to
doing
slouch.
This, you acting all black. And
Sorry, I'm trying to stay up because the couch is making me slouch. So I'm trying to stay up. I'm trying to fight it. Oh, man. Look at me, I'm all covered up. I'm all cozy up in the corner. Yeah.
Well, stop looking at
Sorry.
yourself there.
All right.
Look at that camera
All
over
right.
there.
All right. Oh, yeah. That's right.
I'm about to fall asleep.
You squashing around like you got ants in your pants.
Ants in the pants.
And you need to dance.
Okay.
Slow down, man.
Okay.
You black. Go ahead, Nick. Did he show love?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if it was love because it just looked like two people fighting, right? Because think about it. He was saying to her, these are the principles or whatever. And then she was saying, no, it's this. Couldn't you say either of those people were right? Like, you can't tell the Christian there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I would agree more with the guy He definitely made more sense. Like I could tell that she's. I don't even know. She sounds like she's into LGBT. She's got the short hair, all mad. But it's
And
like
she had
I couldn't
on
tell them
preacher-
apart. They're both right. She's saying love, and he left that out.
You couldn't tell who the Christian was?
They're both saying that you said he was telling her the right principles. Wouldn't you say she was also telling him the right principles?
She was telling him the right principles?
Right. She said you gotta love. Isn't that the same? Didn't Jesus say the I'm paraphrasing now, but the sum of all the word of the commandments is to love God and your neighbor?
If you don't have love, everything else is vanity.
Correct. I agree. But she's defending this LGBT. She's defending this LGBTQ type of love. So, and he's bringing up scripture. Matthew, what was it?
Did she say that?
Did she say that?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that right now.
Assuming.
I'm assuming that
Never
right now.
assume.
She looks like it. Look at that. I mean, I'm just judging based off physical.
Me too.
I'm
I was
over here
like,
judging. But
You ain't totally judging.
yeah, based off of the description of the video, she's a LGBTQ female pastor. And so they're having this discussion about.
But was she wrong about the
that.
basic is love?
Yeah.
She was wrong.
For sure. She's
She was
advocate. Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, about the scripture saying love if you have no love?
I don't believe that. Her idea of love, I believe, is that LGBTQ type of love.
Did she say that?
I'm going based off of the description of the video.
So you're looking at her and judging her?
No. I'm going based off the description of the video. But if we were to look
Not
at her,
what
she
she
does
said?
appear to be.
Not what she said?
Not what she said.
Well, she's
Yeah, I don't
responding
believe she
to.
even said that.
Sorry.
Oh, what were you saying?
Well, she's responding to remember the video because I feel like I blanked out, but I just told her to remember the video now.
Yeah.
She was responding to the man's preaching about all this LGBT, and she was just telling him, but it's about love, and he tried to clarify marriage in the Bible is between a man and a woman. She's like, well, what was the culture at the time? So she did sound like she was defending all that. Like, ask me worldly, like I agree with the preacher, sure, but don't they sound the same? Aren't they both talking about love and the Bible?
No, I didn't see her reference any word, man. That's why. And he was answering their questions, and she got all puffed up. Y'all didn't see that moment where she was kind of like,
big time.
What are the basic fundamental principles of the gospel? She was upset.
And so he would quote the Bible to her.
Yeah, he was quoting that Bible.
And that means he was showing her love?
Yeah, it was giving her the word, the living water.
So he would quote the
drink.
Bible. That meant he was showing her love, right? According to you?
In this way, yeah, in this situation. Not every time you
I'm
just
talking
throw
about
it
her.
out. But yeah.
I mean, this situation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a her. Yeah.
So he was showing her love, right?
Yes.
Because he would quote the scriptures.
Yes.
And then she was showing him hate because she would quote the scripture.
She wasn't calling no scripture.
She said what the basic tenet of the word is love.
But that's not scripture.
That is scripture.
Well,
God named all these stuff that you can have, right?
All right, yeah.
But if you don't have love, everything else is vanity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a waste of time.
Yep.
So they both would quote scripture. Why one was showing love, but the other wasn't?
And again, I'm going based off of the description of the video and the argument. I believe she was defending that LGBTQ type of love.
But she quoted scripture the same way the man's quoted the scripture.
But it's about the concept of what she's really basing this
neither
love off
one of
of.
them was showing love, because if they had real love, they wouldn't be in the street yelling at each other about God.
Really?
Neither one.
Yelling, a loud dispute. I don't know.
Arguing, two devils arguing.
Two devils arguing?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we got to talk. All right.
Are you still you comfortable?
A little bit.
I'll be back in a moment to you. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live.
But you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants.
He wants. Let me go quickly to Virginia to Natasha? NATHEA. Sorry about that. NATHEA, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, NATHEA.
So, yeah, I'm calling in. I'm Spirit Girl 13. I sent in the super chat about calling off of work.
Oh, yes. And you said that you want to call off work, but you're afraid to or something?
Yes.
And why, if it's not personal, why do you want to call off?
Because, like, I feel like I outgrown the work, so it's so easy to me. And, like, I'm one of the best of my departments, and so they put a lot on me. And it's like, I just want some time to take off, just randomly sometimes.
And so do you ever take off?
No, now I am starting to.
And didn't you tell your boss they're putting too much workload on you?
No, because her boss is putting too much work on her.
Oh, excuse me. And so what will happen if you call in today?
Well, actually, this question was for you for yesterday. I ended up calling off anyway.
And how did it go?
It went well. I didn't have to talk to them. I had to talk to someone else, thank God. But I just felt like they would probably judge me, call me lazy, just basically just thinking how they would react.
But why are you in your mind thinking about what someone else would think or do?
I'm just so used to it.
Well, stop it. Stop believing anything about the thoughts. You're worshiping evil when you do that. You're one with evil. You are agreeing with evil. Your thoughts are not from God. They're not from you. You got to stop. I recommend you stop identifying with them.
It seems so hard, Jesse.
Because you're not doing the silent prayer watching.
Nope.
Oh, it seems so hard, Jesse. Why don't you do the silent prayer so your help will come from God?
Sometimes I feel like it's not working or I'm not doing it right. I get distracted.
But you still listen to the devil.
I know.
He say you're not working, distracted. You still stop listening to the devil and stop calling you and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I gotta want to do it too. I've noticed that.
Right. So you're not tired of your misery yet. You love your pain. You love your thrill.
I don't like it though.
If you didn't like
I
it.
like it, but I love it. Well, no. Let me reverse that. No, it's just like, I don't know. It's, like you said, that thrill. It's like candy.
You love the thrill of fear. You love the thrill of false happiness. You love the thrill of doubt. You love the thrill of more false happiness. You just love your thrill. You love evil.
So can I just force myself to do it?
Do what?
Silent prayer, just sit there.
You don't need to force yourself. You just relax and do it. That's all.
Okay. It's not that hard.
No, you just listen to the hell. Evil is telling you that it's hard because evil doesn't want to depart from you. So it doesn't want you to be still and know God. It would rather have you hooping and hollering and praying and crying and begging God and carrying on than it would for you to be still and do nothing.
Yeah. And another thing is just that when you do nothing, it's like you have no support there, it feels like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But when you what?
I feel like the thing is with me, like you said, I like the thrills because with the thrills, it has some encouragement. But when it's time for me to go and do the silent prayer, it's like, oh, everyone left. No one there no more.
And that's what you want. You do not want the support of the world anymore unless the support is pointing you back to overcoming the world.
Yeah, so I'm really by myself.
Nice. And now you should love that song, All by Myself.
I do.
Hake have a question for you.
Yeah.
Just because your boss is overloaded, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't tell her that you're overloaded.
That's a good point.
I know. My manager, she has the mama spirit. And I don't know how to deal with that attitude without snapping back, and I don't want to do that. So hard.
I don't think that should stop you either.
I know.
You deal with about not being angry.
I know. I am pretty angry.
Yeah. And, hey, she won't even do the silent prayer.
Baby.
That's right.
She love her misery. Anyway, I got to run, but if you want to be free, you got to work on you, overcoming your hell. All thoughts, all emotions, the good or the bad, are evil. They're not from God. They're not from you. So you need to surrender to the prayer, and God will change your heart, and you can deal with your boss and everyone without being angry.
Okay, Jesse, and I would do that and get back to you.
Let me know.
Okay.
All right. Did y'all hear about this story? I just heard about it this morning for the first time. And I guarantee you, had it been a white on black story, you would have heard about it, and you would still be hearing about it, and you will always be reminded of it 100 years from today. According to WVTM, a man accused of multiple murders in Jefferson County, including 2 mass shootings, is facing 3 more murder charges and a string of deadly shootings that claimed 14 lives in 14 months. Watch this from CBS 2.
Continuing coverage tonight, it's been 19 months since 2 Birmingham firefighters were shot at Fire Station 9 in Norwood.
Interim Birmingham Police Chief Michael Pickett announced today the arrest of 22-year-old Damian McDaniel in that shooting. McDaniel's been charged with capital murder and the death of Jordan Melton, and attempted murder in the shooting of Jamal Jones. McDaniel has already been charged in 2 mass shootings, and now police say he's charged in additional homicides: the death of Mia Nixon in January of 2024 and the murder for hire death of a UPS worker, Anthony Love Jr., on April 9th.
John Robbins is lead counsel for accused mass shooter Damian McDaniel.
Everybody is entitled to a fair trial and a vigorous defense.
McDaniel is accused of murdering 14 people and committing 2 mass shootings in Birmingham, which is why District Attorney Danny Carr is pursuing the death penalty.
Are you seeking the death penalty in this case?
Yes. During Tuesday's City Council meeting, Birmingham City Councilor Hunter Williams commented on the new charges.
To me, you're a terrorist, and I hope that wherever court this goes, that they seek the death penalty.
Robbins says there has been no evidence presented to support the charges against his client, but Carr says that evidence is coming.
Amazing, huh? Have you heard about this? Here's a summary of all of the 14 murders. WTMV 13.
Magdala, thank you. And as we've mentioned, McDaniel now charged in 14 murders, a string of shootings taking place over a year. Police say it started on July 12, 2023, when Jordan Melton and Jamal Jones were gunned down as they worked at that fire station in Norwood. On January 10, 2024, McDaniel is now charged with killing Mia Nixon, I should say. The 21-year-old was shot and killed in front of her home in Crestwood. And in April, he's accused of targeting Anthony Love Jr., a UPS driver shot and killed as he walked to his car after work. On July 13, 2024, the first of 2 mass shootings McDaniel is accused of at an event center in North Birmingham. 4 people died there, 10 others were hurt. He's also charged with killing DeAntrinette Brown inside a club on 9th Street North. That was September 19th. And then just 2 days later, McDaniel is accused of opening fire in the 5 Points neighborhood as people stood in line outside a lounge. In that incident, 4 people died, 17 others were hurt.
Amazing, huh? Have you heard about that? Where is Black Lives Matter? If this alleged shooter was done by a white man, and Lord, if he had done it to black people, it would be riots in L.A. and around the country right now, or wherever this situation happened. And this alleged shooter would be a hero. Well, if he was white, he wouldn't be a hero. I mean, if he was white, he would be a or whatever they call them, races and all that, man. But have you heard about where's Black Lives Matter and that stupid black lawyer that always show up, Benjamin Crump? And I believe it's down in Birmingham, Alabama that this happened. I haven't heard anything about it. Have you? And if we, again, all we hear the blacks, they always say that only white people do mass shooting. Okay, what do you got to say now? What do you got to say now about it? I haven't heard from Ben Crump or Radical Black Lives Matter. They're quiet on this. Have you heard one word out of them about it? No, because this black man ain't got no money. There is no money in this. If it was the other way around, it would be a different story.